I'm super sorry about that, viewers. We've been unintentionally muted this entire time, so none of you heard me talking at all. I'm Robert Brinker, also known as Jam Stoneforge on Twitter, and our man whose stream we're on right now, James, is back here with me, doing commentary.
I've been here since the start is now.
Yeah, that is very true. We've got already. I think the time for predicting is over, unfortunately, but we've got Steven here on blue-white Days Undoing control.
Yep. Yeah, we talked about this a little bit before the event.
Yeah, and I looks like Reed's on Murktide today. I don't know what he was playing on Saturday at the MtG. He was on 4-color. Okay. Do you know if the build of
he's been on the Delirium build for a while.
No, I was actually going to say about the build he's playing right now. I was wondering if he if you happen to know if he's on the Darcy-less version or not, because I think pretty much everybody's moved to the Darcy-less version.
I think so.
I believe
he usually plays whatever Will is playing, but I'm not too certain. We'll find out shortly here. We see Ledger Shredder in his hand, so it leads me to believe there are less DRCs, if any, in his list so far. So,
yeah, and that is generally, I think, how it works, right? So,
and we're gonna see Bubble be pretty good at triggering Delirium here.
Yeah. Well, Steven has a Chalice on one, so the Delirium's not really gonna. All those Delirium spells are not.
That is fair.
Not gonna do anything. Fortunately for him, Steven actually, Reed earlier, cast an Unholy Heat into that Chalice just to get his Connive trigger on the Ledger Shredder.
I think that's probably worth
right before you got. Right before you definitely didn't.
That's a sign that he might not be on any Brazen Borrowers, or at least many main deck ways to answer the Chalice. And just, for the time being, be able to grow your Ledger Shredder.
Yeah.
He could be on Ottawara as well. Most lists are at least on one of those.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost free to play, right? Like,
yeah, you do play Blood Moon effects in the sideboard, so you might want more islands, but usually 3 is good enough to cast all of your spells. Yeah. As the decks are trimming down on the Archmage's Charms a little bit. And Regiman in Ledger Shredder, both staying in play, could be a supreme verdict from Steven if Reed tries to overcommit here. I'd like to see Reed try to deal with the Teferi now, and then develop more of a board state afterwards to see what Steven has to
I mean, with. As long as you have 2 spells in hand, you can just, even if they're 1-drops, they're not going to feel great, but you could fire off any 2 1-mana spells into this Chalice to guarantee yourself a Ledger Shredder that's lethal, and then you still get to connect with Ragavan, assuming, of course, that your opponent doesn't have any interaction for any of this. So
we could have Solitudes, although we do only have 4 mana on Steven's side of the board, so
it would require a pitch cast. Yeah,
and I think it's something you're okay with.
Yeah, and I do know he is on 4 Solitude, and I believe it might also be 4 Subtlety, but it could only be
Subtlety. Wow, okay.
But it could only be 3. Yeah, although we know that he's down 1 right now because the very first Ragavan hit of the game did take a Subtlety, and it looks like. Then it was Mystic Gate, and then Jace was the third card that he lost there. So
Eaters.
Yeah.
Right off the bat.
Yeah. I don't know what do you have any idea what the standard list for this Days Undoing deck normally looks like?
I know more what Legacy Days Undoing lists modern ones.
Yeah.
I think it's really up to the deck builder's interpretation.
All right. Well, I know
this looks like more of a Kahira. You're not playing Opt. Most likely because you're playing Chalice.
I looked through his deck earlier, so I have seen his whole list in particular. I just didn't know if there were where it stands relative to others. I know he happens to be on Stoneforge Juke
right
in the sideboard, so he undeclares Kahira.
Yep.
In games 2 and/or 3 if he wishes. Yeah, your opponent's just like, oh, I don't need any creature removal. Get all this out of here, and then you're just like, haha, Stoneforge.
I'm pretty sure that was the top 8 list for Saturday.
Oh, really? They did this?
Okay. It was. I don't know if it was Days Undoing, but it definitely had the Stoneforges in the sideboard. I also don't think it was Kahira.
Yeah, I think.
Oh, so here's Supreme Verdict. So.
Yeah, I think you probably. Oh yeah, and at instant speed because of that Teferi plus.
And here's the backup Ledger Shredder. I like that a lot.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I think you probably cut a Subtlety or something, and then one other card to be able to play 1 or 2 Snapcaster Mages.
Mm-hmm.
And then give up the Kahira, so then your opponent's not like, oh, clearly something has changed that he's not declaring Kahira.
Right.
Because, logically, any opponent that you're playing against is going to think, oh, this person. They're not going to think, oh, he forgot to declare Kahira. They're going to be like, something is up. He didn't declare Kahira.
Yeah, because you could not say anything. You don't have to say that you're not declaring Kahira, but you would have to like move it off the table or like put it in the deck box.
Yeah, in a different location. Yeah. So unless you like picked it up and shuffled it into your deck, and then like, unless you happen to be the sort of person that puts your whole sideboard into your deck and then de-sideboards.
That's the actual bait.
I mean, that is
forgetting to declare it and shuffling it in. And then you have a dead card in your deck, but
I'm assuming you've boarded it out. You in that process of pulling out the 15 cards.
Sure.
Because if you mash your whole sideboard in and you pull 15 cards, then
if you do that,
I forgot to grab the Kahira out of the board. Oops.
Yeah, that'd be pretty insane.
But I don't know. How long do you think that'll last? That
would work once at a level.
I don't even think it would work here.
Maybe. Especially not now, since we're talking about it. If anyone watches the videos.
Yeah.
It looks like Reed's down to his last card in hand, so Steven's going to be looking to find a way to just turn the corner, so to speak. I mean, he has Teferi 3 in play, but I think something like a Jace or Wandering Emperor is really going to help actually take over this game, because, I mean, if Reed's creatures are just allowed to live, then Steven is in a bit of trouble. But I think we saw a Solitude as one of the cards in Steven's hand.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. It looks like there's a Days Undoing that he's looking at. Why was he looking at multiple cards there?
We were scrying 2 off of Castle Ventress.
Okay. I was busy telling other people about the stream to get more viewers, so I missed it. Yes,
a noble cause.
A very noble cause indeed.
Steven has a lot of cards in his hand. I thought we were down to 3 or less, but looks like Force Negation, main deck, Solitude, Hallowed Fountain, which we're going to see being played now.
Shocking, down to 7. I suppose with the Chalice on 1 in play, you feel pretty safe about not getting burned out by your opponent.
Also, there's not going to be any dash Ragamuffins.
Yes. Yeah, there's no all the damage we're going to see coming.
Right.
And I mean, we are still staring down. If we cast another, well, we haven't cast a spell yet. So if we were to cast 2 spells here, which we have 0 incentive to do, we could be staring down 6 damage, but it looks like we're only going to be staring down 4. Going to 3 is kind of okay, but also if you're right about there being a Solitude in his hand, it's only 2, and then we're cracking with a 3-drop, with a 3/2.
So because of a Shark Typhoon, maybe, and make it a 4.
I don't think I saw Shark Typhoons in this deck.
I'm curious about the Shock thing, because he already has 5 mana for the scan. So.
Yeah, and like there's no 1-drops you can cast. Are we on all blue lands? Because if we're on all blue lands and play, double Archmage's Charm is a thing.
I think there's a Plains in play.
Okay, then
or it might be Mysticate, actually.
Don't know. Yeah, I think all of the land. There's one land that's hidden under that island that I can't see. Oh, that's a Rafine's Tower. It looks like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know why we're not. And he was only going in for 1 there. I don't know why. Oh, and it's a Teferi too. I don't know why we shocked that in. There's no 1-drops we could cast.
Yeah.
Unless I missed a main deck Flusterstorm.
Oh no, there's.
But also we have a Teferi, so it doesn't matter.
Right.
Our opponent's not doing anything in response. So why would we take the 2? There's no reason to take the 2 damage.
I don't think so. That's why a Shark Typhoon is the only thing that actually makes sense here, I think.
Yeah, but then you would have just sharked and drawn a card. Yeah, right. But I don't think he's on Shark Typhoons. I don't remember seeing any.
Yeah.
So.
No, I don't think he has it, because he would have done it instead of the Solitude for this exact reason. To then Solitude the.
Okay, so I see a Force of Negation in his hand. That might have been already there. Maybe he was considering being able to if maybe he was considering having the ability to instant speed Days Undoing to deny Reed's ability to Murktide Regent.
That's possible, yeah.
So,
but Teferi's just going to bounce that, and Reed's going to scoop him up.
Yeah, I think that's the correct decision in this situation.
Yeah, I mean, just even the 3 life every turn with the Chalice on 1 is really sealing the deal there. But getting the 3 life and making it so Steven can't really die to a Murktide ever. Is going to be lights out, especially with no cards in hand for Reed.
Yeah. Was he on no cards? I think he had 1 or 2.
He might have had 1 card, but it
was probably like a 1-drop. I think I saw a Ragavan and a Holy
Grail.
So effectively 0. Yeah. So, all right. So it looks like Steven is opting to. We can see from him the cards he's grabbing out of his sideboard there. He is definitely opting for the Stoneforge package, or at least part of it.
It's an interesting choice in the matchup with a lot of bolts, and I think Reed's going to keep at least Unholy Heats in because it deals
They
with
all, yeah, they still have planeswalkers, and you definitely don't want to get got by that Narset combo.
Right, yeah.
Assuming that he knows about it. Yeah. Right now, all we've seen is randomly subtlety in a blue-white control deck.
Yeah. So I like that Steven is taking out Force Negation here. I probably want to take out Subtlety too, especially if you're on 4.
Looks like we might also be going down the Days Undoing line as well.
It seems a little rough to guarantee that your planeswalkers will live.
Yeah. You'd have to have Teferi to really lock it in that the Narset's going to make it around.
You're already winning at that point.
Yeah. 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 If you have like your options are like doing it with Narset immediately, so you're on 6 mana at that point,
right?
And then you're probably at the point where you're already in a pretty good spot, or you're doing a lot. Like you stuck Teferi and then you played Narset and Narset didn't die and then you untapped and then you did it again.
Right.
Like he's also he's talking turn 5 here. That's probably not.
He's also going to be on the draw this game too, which just makes it harder.
He was actually on the draw last game as well. So
okay.
Yes, but yeah. So Reed did start that out there.
Yeah, being on the draw is going to lead make Spell Pierce a much better card. All right, Brinker was stepping away here just to answer a judge call, but we were just talking how Spell Pierce is going to be pretty solid for Reed on the play. It's going to catch things like Teferi, opposing counter spells from Steven, making him commit more mana than he necessarily has available to him, as paying for Spell Pierce in the early turns is basically impossible. And for Reed's side of things, we're probably going to be looking for an opening hand that's going to have some way to deal with the Chalice of the Void, whether it be Spell Pierce or Brazen Borrower, if we see that coming out of the sideboard, or just something aggressive with Ledger Shredders and maybe Mystical Disputes to deal with the Teferi, as that's going to be one of the bigger cards in the matchup.
Right. I am returned.
All right. How was the judge call?
Caleb was just wondering exactly how Rebound and Remand worked together, and I was pretty sure that you could remand a spell that was coming back off Rebound and go back to your hand, but it's been a hot minute, so I wasn't sure.
I'm pretty sure it goes to Exiles, right?
No, when it's coming off Rebound.
What's coming? Oh.
Yeah. And if you remand the spell, then I mean you're countering it anyway on the front face. No, so it's not like flashback, which is what he was wanting to make.
Right.
Yes. So, yeah, it's been a hot minute since that ever came up, because I don't think anybody's cast Rebound against me, or not Rebound, Rebound against me in a while. So I couldn't remember exactly how Rebound was worded, because that's the only time it would matter. But it goes to the graveyard, so it was like there's not an unreasonable thing to assume that would be. One of my favorite interaction is casting Time Warps, or like the new ones that exile themselves with Rebound, because then they still go to exile. They exile themselves, and then Rebound still finds them there. It's pretty great. I mean, it requires a 6 mana enchantment, or Tigum, I think, is the creature that does it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
The blue-black one?
Blue-white Tigum.
Oh, the blue. Oh, right.
Yeah, blue-black Tigum replaces your draw step with strategic planning.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes. And then exiles cards from your graveyard to give a creature Negex, I think.
Sounds about right. Well, Steven going down to 6 here, it looks like.
Yeah. I mean, not unreasonable to have that happen once or twice.
I think you're happy to have it happen while you're on the draw.
Yes.
A slightly unfavorable position as it is. But I think it's a pretty favorable matchup for Steven.
I don't know. I think if I'm going to go down to 6 in any spot, I think I would rather it be on the draw than on the play.
Oh, yeah.
Just because you get that card immediately back.
Right.
Sorry about that, viewers. We had another judge question, actually from the exact same match, and it was the other player in the match asking about how Searing Blaze interacts with Blossoming Calm. James had to step out real quick, and he's just now coming back. So that was also a question about Blossoming Calm.
Ah, yes. Aquino's playing Burn today.
Yeah. So Aquino was wondering how Searing Blaze interacts with Blossoming Calm. Because he was like, do I still get to kill the creature?
2 targets.
So I was like, there are multiple targets. As long as there are one of the targets as long as at least one of the targets is still legal, it will resolve to the best of its ability.
This is correct.
So, yeah,
I know. He had a couple of questions about the same card this weekend over at the RCQ for Modern.
Blossoming Calm or Searing Blaze?
Searing Blaze. Okay. I think it's just been a while since he's cast those burn spells. So just,
I don't know if he's ever played Burn, has he?
maybe he's been playing Magic for a while. So
That's
most people have played Burn, especially if you played years ago. When
So would you believe that I have never played Burn?
yeah, I mean you are a Plains avid Plains enjoyer. So
Yeah. I mean, well, great.
Plains the list of technically. Burn.
Yes.
Primarily
By the loosest of definitions.
Sacred Foundry. You cast Rose Charm and Lightning Helix sometimes. There's Deflecting Palm's huge.
Yeah. If you're mostly against Emrakul or Titan, I guess also. Yeah, Titan's the big one
because that's like actually a bad matchup.
That's fair.
Big Murktide too.
Oh yeah. I mean, I guess realistically, any large creature, you're just gonna deflect that palm right back at.
It used to just be Tarmogoyf back in the day. That was the biggest thing, or Death Shadow.
Back in the day. Dude, back in the day, I used to play Drazi in Texas. Turns out I've always secretly loved black and white cards. Word of Command and all.
Yeah. Chains.
Also that. Hey, look, speak of the devil.
Wow.
So,
we snagged a Narset off Ragavan.
Oof. Oh, okay. Looks like Steven has the actual Japanese versions of the Japanese art planeswalkers, even though they do exist with English forms. Yep. And Reed was wanting to know, hey, what's the actual text on this card? Steven kindly providing that for his opponent in original English printing.
Yeah, but now I think we have 2 treasures for Reed, so we can hold up a counterspell, as well as maybe multiple mystical disputes or a spell pierce or some combination of those.
Yeah.
Fair amount of interaction to be held up for 2 mana post sideboard.
It's not looking great for the blue-white control player right now, if I'm being honest. I would particularly be enthused to be sitting across the table in Steven's position right now.
Yeah, the Narset is probably going to cause some issues. I'm guessing that's part of the reason why Steven boarded out his Days Undoing. I think that's what we saw, right?
Yeah, I definitely saw him take out at least one, but I think he's on 2 or 3.
More than 1 Days Undoing.
I'm pretty sure he's on multiple Days Undoing. I'm like 99%.
4 Narset deck then?
He's definitely on 4 Narsets.
Interesting.
Yeah, like he's very in on this combo.
That might give him the edge against 4 color, honestly. Like if Narset can resolve, like so many cards just say draw a card, and that's how you get buried as blue-white. And if they just don't say draw a card, but the likelihood of Narset sticking around for more than a turn or 2 seems pretty unlikely, especially with all the unholy beats.
Yeah. Oh, assuming you're on the. Are you talking about in this matchup, or are you talking about in 4 color?
Yeah.
I mean, if you're not on the Delirium version, there's no unholy heats, right?
Not necessarily.
Oh, really? Okay.
It's just so much better to be
on the
if you're playing balls. Yeah, I don't think Delirium is probably just better.
Yes. I mean, I think that I don't care which version you're on when I'm sitting across the table from you, because it's just a bad matchup for Death and Text.
It's kind of how it goes. I mean, it's the same thing for DRC or Ledger Shredder builds of Murktide. Like they're both good. I think it's a little more clear cut for Murktide which one is better, but for 4 color, I think it's a pretty recent innovation for playing all the Delirium cards.
Yeah. Now, in that case, the 2 different variations of Murktide, I have to say, I also don't care which one you're on. It's a great matchup for me.
There's definitely 2 sides to that.
Yeah. Some matchups, I'm a dog and cannot win, and some matchups, they're a dog to me. Turns out I have I think there's only one matchup, though, where I'm the dog, but it's unfortunately also a very popular deck.
Yes.
And as opposed, I mean,
the other decks that you are good against are also popular.
Yes, yeah, I was gonna say Hammer and Murktide are not unpopular decks. So, and I did I did 2-0-4-0 both of the hammer players that
Yeah.
the two hammer players I played against over the weekend.
And I told you to
Not like
I told you to trim on Furies and still got the 2-0s. So
yeah, I mean, I don't actually think I drew Fury all weekend.
wow.
I mulliganed it away because I had a hand that had Fury in it but had no lands.
I think we just saw Chalice attempted to be played on 2 and then spell pierced by Reed. And so some of that cheap interaction I was just talking about.
What? Okay,
Really coming up here.
You're pretty far behind right now. Why are you trying to Chalice on 2? Turn off Counterspell and Ledger
Shredder, yeah. As opposed to the plethora of 1-drops that are in the deck.
So
also,
if you're Reed,
okay,
you just
okay,
if
so
you're Reed,
Steven
you
has-
just give up. You just give up 2 of your things, and I would have just slammed that.
Steven just has another Chalice, right?
I mean, you have
Because-
to. That would be the only reason you would do that.
Yeah, because you would put.
Oh, Reed looks like Reed's casting his own. All right, so hear me out. I don't like this. I think if I'm Reed, I want to cast that Solitude and increase my clock because I can play this Jace next turn and it's free. Like the Solitude is free. I'm giving up 2 treasures that are just sitting there anyway. Like
I would rather keep the treasures in play. I guess you're
you're,
gonna
you're,
you're
incre-
gonna
you're
keep
increasing, you're over doubling your clock.
getting- Yeah.
And like Steven's not putting creatures on the board, at least not right now.
No.
And you're in a very commanding position. Unless my hand is empty of other gas, I am, and like you're plussing the Jace here. I am definitely casting that Solitude.
Yeah. It does double your clock.
If you were
Steve might also just concede here. I don't know
Yeah.
how he actually gets out of this
yeah.
because I don't think he has any basics in play.
No, I don't think so.
We have a no,
we have 2
we have
planes.
2
We have 2 planes. But that's not enough to get you to 3 mana to ending a Blood Moon.
No, it's not. And then Jace is still there.
Yeah, and I don't know if he
Yeah.
has any. I don't think Steven has any March of Otherworldly Lights.
Right. This is gonna be a hard cast mystical dispute.
Yeah, see, and like we would have been able to hold that up anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, Reed's the one playing, but Reed is the one with the actual experience on the deck. But like, just as
Yeah, I think either situation is about as crippling as the other one.
Yeah.
I think the benefit of holding the Jace is you don't 100% give your opponent the knowledge that that's what you boarded in.
yeah, I mean, if I'm blue-white control, I think I'm assuming my opponent brought in Jace's if it
you assume
yeah.
that it's not 100%. Now it is 100% that
Sure,
there's Jace on the
sure,
other
sure,
side.
sure.
Also, it does, if Steven does have Solitude, and I guess specifically double planes, then playing another Solitude isn't as good of a clock as Jace is because the Solitude kills the Ragavan and then Solitude's trade. So the Jace, there is merit to playing into the Jace there, but it doesn't really matter at that stage of the game. I feel like
yeah. Players talking about Reed's neat clue token, I assume.
treasure
token. I mean, sorry.
Yeah,
Treasure
they're
token?
from Deadly
like-
Dispute.
I like my treasure token.
Yeah.
Just the $sign written on a World's 2000 playtest card.
Good enough.
Yeah. It's not at all ambiguous. So
Yeah.
it's all you gotta be.
It's a treasure.
Yeah. Had I made it on camera over the weekend, I apparently wouldn't have been allowed to use it, which is depressing.
I don't think you're allowed to use anything but your cards, basically.
Well, no, they provide you with the tokens for
Well, and they have a playmat and dice and stuff,
Oh wow!
Yeah.
You don't even get to pick your playmat.
No,
Wow, that's annoying.
I mean it makes sense.
I guess consistency of appearance.
We also just get to advertise, and then if
Sure.
somebody's playing something with an obscene playmat, you don't have to worry about that as much.
Yeah, but I feel like they shouldn't be doing that anyway.
Well, they shouldn't be, but
Sure, yes, this is fair.
people are people, Bricker.
Yes, I know. Nico and I have had this pretty much this exact same conversation plenty of times about his stupid deck box.
Ah, yes. All right. How do you feel about Murktide on the draw? But you do get sideboard cards,
Like, who do I think is favored?
right? And for post sideboarded.
Like, okay, I know I'm confused as the question. Are you thinking you're asking if I think I should be cutting Murktides if I'm Murktide, or would I rather be Murktide or the control deck?
Would you rather be Murktide or the control deck?
Ooh. So like that's super dependent on like the starts from both players. Like if Reed has, because like Steven's, I guess Steven might keep a hand that will. Steven's best play is Chalice on 2, or Chalice on 1 on turn 2.
Right.
Right. So he's not doing anything. So if I'm Reed, I guess it depends on how hard I'm willing to mulligan. I think I would prefer the not mulliganing option, and I think the blue-eye control player is less likely to mulligan, so I think I would rather be them. on the in this exact game we've got going on here.
Right.
Just because I think getting the Chalice down, even though they might stick a Ragavan in the meantime, or I could get my Chalice could get spell pierced. If they go Ragavan on one, I know Chalice is safe to resolve.
Right.
If they don't go Ragavan on one, then I think I just play a land and make them waste their mana like this. Like if Steven, I think this is a spot where I would not jam
Chalice.
to just jam the Chalice. Yeah, which is exactly what you Steven.
You put your opponent on. If you're Reed, you put your opponent on hoping they play around your spell pierce. If you don't play a threat turn one, but if you play a threat turn one, then it's more than likely just going to die to prismatic ending.
I mean, in a turn.
Yeah.
Because like if I'm Steven, you give me the opportunity to just immediately slam a Chalice on you. Probably I'm just gonna slam that Chalice. If you don't have Force
That's
Negation,
fair.
like are you gonna bring in Force Negation against me as Murktide?
I just don't think Murktide plays Force Negation.
Okay, I didn't think so, but no. They were for a bit when they were playing Darcy. So
yeah. I think it's just you don't really want to 2-for-1 yourself as often as Force of Negation would like you to do.
Yeah, I think I tend to agree with that assessment. So yeah, I mean, like even if you had the Force Negations, I guess if you had it, you would do it. But like, I definitely don't want to do it. Yeah, a Thundering Chariot. Okay.
Wonder what brought that one up.
Who knows?
Maybe a search for Ragavan. Maybe a typo.
I am very confused. I'm just slamming the thing into another counterspell. These Japanese mystical archive counterspells from Steven.
Yep.
You know what my favorite story about the mystical archive is? The ephemerate and the memory lapse.
Oh,
the Japanese version. Yeah, they're the same. The same guy, but I guess they were improperly labeled in their system or something, so they got swapped
or changed. Yeah.
Well, just because, but which kind of makes sense. Like I think
Oh, here's your favorite card.
Oh no, it is actually my 6th favorite card.
Yeah.
Yeah. Despite my Twitter name.
That's what earns the slot though.
Yeah. I mean, and then the Cauldron Complete, my 7th favorite card.
Yeah.
But yeah, the color schemes on Memory Lapse and Ephemerate making them, I think they fit better with where they ended up. But, yeah, Steven playing the GP promo, not the Judge promo. We made sure of that after we acquired them.
I see.
Well, actually, after Logan acquired them, because there's the Judge promos are randomly like 2.5 times as expensive as the GP, and the only difference.
Corner, yeah.
Yeah, it says Judge instead of GP in the bottom, and also I think is a year older.
Oh, sure.
Yeah. So
that's the.
Yeah.
I mean, if there's the less supply of one of the printings, I mean that is.
Reed's stuck on 2 lands and just not answering that Stoneforge Mystic into what I mean. I think he probably just didn't try because he was assuming Steven had another counterspell there. Maybe though it doesn't look like Steven did. And yep, I mean Steven doing the obvious and activating a Stoneforge Mystic to come in and with a. Well, if it was me, it would be a 5/5 Lawrence Fishburne.
Yes.
Because he played Thrax in the 2001 animated movie Osmosis Jones. But I think for Steven, it's just going to be a germ token. Looks like a foil Phyrexian germ, probably from that very set, Modern Horizons 2 there.
Oh, right. Proper token.
Yeah.
So I think you're right. Steven doesn't have any more interaction in his hand. It's just proactive spells like Norsa.
I think I actually saw a second Stoneforge Mystic as well.
Oh.
Which means if he brought in Sword of Fire and Ice, he's going to be able to immediately jam Fire and Ice into play, although not equip it because we're 2 mana short of that. Or he can go get Batterskull if he brought that in,
sure,
and just have Batterskull to block this Ragavan when it comes back down, assuming it comes back down. Although I don't think I would dash a Ragavan into a face-up Batterskull.
Yeah, I think if you read, you might just be trying to resolve an Archmage's Charm, taking the germ. That might be the best line here outside of something like Otawara or
yeah, that's definitely true. Although being at just that treasure up, I think Reed's odds of doing that right now are not
naturally drew the Sword of Fire and Ice. Which is going to secure.
I think that
game. I think.
Yeah, I mean, speaking as a person who does this to Murktide players quite a lot, they generally don't. Yeah, they generally do what Reed just did there and show you their hand and concede to that.
Yeah, I do not beat that.
No, a 9 damage draw card clock against almost any deck is gonna.
You really just need Ottawa. That's the only answer.
Yeah, and didn't
there
have
was not an answer to that.
Yeah. And when I get lucky and I have a giver of runes in play, and they're just like, oh well, I guess this doesn't work either because pro colorless. Because boys and girls lands are colorless.
Yes, they are.
Or boys and girls and everybody in between, I guess I should say. Be more inclusive here.
Yes. All right, well, that's going to do it here for our first match for round number 1.
Probably not going to have another one because 13 minutes I don't think is enough time for another one, right?
I don't believe so. I mean, let's take a look around, see what we got.
I would honestly expect that probably everyone else is done, but
That could be the case.
Yeah, we'll be right back one way or another. Alrighty, we're about to be starting up round 2 here. Looks like we have Mr. A, also known as Aquino, on Burn, and our good friend modern NRG champion Will Kowalczyk, who I believe today is playing Amulet Titan, a deck he won the NRG with.
Yeah.
Am I correct about that, James? Will is, to my knowledge, playing Amulet Titan today.
He is.
The deck he won the energy with.
The very same.
I mean, I think the list might be a little different.
Probably not the very same, but
Yeah.
I believe he's on.
Do you think he's on
a Hydra?
Oh yeah. Oh yes, I do know he is running at least one layer of the Hydra. I have seen that. Do you think that he might be on the Hydroid Crisis list from this weekend? There was those,
100%.
and I know that our friend Nick Peterson was very much a fan of that. So
yeah, I think Will's been on that for a few days. I saw one Hydroid Crisis in his
Okay.
list.
Cool.
At least one. I don't know if he's added any more.
Let me get a prediction started. Typing around the cable for this microphone is not the easiest. Oh, right after. Choose outcome. Steven took it down. Complete prediction. And then let me go back into prediction and start a prediction. I think if I click on this one, I already have some of the information entered. On Brun
Versus Titan.
That didn't work at all. Just like didn't do anything I wanted to do there. Delete that, and then the Squillium. I'm gonna put Squillium.
I'm sure he won't mind.
I mean, it was his name in the Discord for a while, so I can't imagine too much on. I am nothing if not a child. Oh.
Wow.
All right.
You are a child that has a Twitch.
I am a child, and Twitch says that it's too that I am too much of a child. Apparently, I apologize, viewers. I tried to make it say tit Ann, and it didn't work. Twitch said no, that is too immature, or maybe too mature.
Oh.
Who is to say?
Twitch.
I mean, I'm sure they would, but I don't think they'll tell me. I'm pretty sure they think it's too mature.
I think so.
They're trying to be a family-friendly platform where I can say fuck balls tit shit.
You can.
But you know, I can't write naughty words, but I can say them.
Yeah, people can mistake audio
Sure.
for something else, but you can't
Mistake the written
facts.
word. Yeah. can't exactly mistake the facts of the case. So I know our table manager is fond of putting up random cards.
Mhm.
What do you think's up with this colossal whale?
I hope it's not a dig at any of our players, but
It might be.
well, I think seeing our Boreal Grazer here for Will is probably the best thing he can see in this matchup.
Yeah, being able to block a lot of well, maybe not. It looks like all Aquino's got is the burn.
That is how Titan can lose with Grazer in play, but Will having a Saga as well that's going to crack. If we see another Amulet here, I think we're pretty likely to win the game pretty quickly, especially with Dryad in play. It's going to clear up any of the creatures and then maybe just kill Aquino outright.
Looks like no amulet though, so it's just going to be the one that's going to be coming off that Saga.
Well, if Will has a bounce land, he can cast a Titan next turn.
Yeah, that he definitely can.
And give it haste.
And give it haste. Put his opponent into scary zone.
Well, should just be lethal. It's an attack for 8 and then 4 bolts.
Oh yeah. It is pretty damaging, I would probably say.
Yeah, Titan has multiple ways to deal 20.
Turns out.
It shouldn't have any, but here we are.
Yeah.
It's like just another Saga. No bounce line just yet. And another Cavern. So we're just 1 mana away.
Did he play 2 lands? Yeah, he did. He played the Saga and the Cavern. Looks like he probably floated off of the Saga though, and just throwing a Titan out there. All right. We're not gonna be able to give it haste, but we are gonna be able to gain some life here because I think Will runs Radiant.
We will be able to give it haste. Vesuva will copy Slayers. You get Boris Garrison.
Oh, yep. See, this is why I'm glad that I have a Titan player sitting back here with
you
me.
attack, get 2 Pelicots, and that's 20
And that
damage.
looks like that's what we're doing here. So, it looks like Akino's going to be dead sauce.
Yeah, I don't think he can have anything game 1, especially when he's tapped out. This is attack for 22.
Because of the Dryad.
Yeah.
You know? Be aggressive. Be aggressive.
He could attack.
Aggress.
He wanted to be aggressive and fast.
2 stomps this time.
All right, we can't just keep shit posting.
Nick.
Not us. The stream.
The previous stream.
That we are currently performing.
I don't know. I think we can.
Yeah, I mean, the clip is out there. People might know what we're talking about.
I mean, these are all just mostly jokes for you, me, and Nick. Like, if we're being honest here, Zach didn't even seem to find them that funny.
I showed up Fluffy too, and there was not much interest.
I don't know. Part of that might have been we were looking at this at like 11:45 at night.
After waking up early.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm talking about on Friday.
Yeah.
Which I guess for Nick, actually, yes, we had been up early because he and I both had work that day.
Yeah.
So we've both been up for, 19 hours.
Yeah, that'll do it. That'll make almost anything hilarious.
Yeah, I can in fact confirm. I was up for most of 72 hours one time, only sleeping for 6 of those, and just about everything was funny. Getting close to the end of that, so
Sounds like fun time.
yeah.
Well, so Will should know all of Aquino's lists here, right? Because I believe this is Will's deck.
Yes, I believe it. I believe it is in fact Will's deck.
So he'll know what to play around, whether there's not any deflecting palms on the board. Maybe just Path to Exile.
Yeah. I mean, I like to think Will's a good Magic player. He did win an energy, so he probably has deflecting palms on the board. I would assume.
Probably.
Because like there are also other people here at the store that play Titan on occasion. Yourself.
Nick, if he's here.
Yeah, Nick, if he's here. I think there's one other person I've seen playing Titan.
Aquino does also own Titan.
Oh yes, Aquino owns Titan. And then there's one other guy that's been here a couple times that plays Titan. I know.
Oh, Luke.
Oh, I was actually thinking of someone else.
So
Yes, also there's yet another one. Aaron, I think is his name.
No, Aaron's here tonight. I don't believe he's
No, different Aaron.
Different Aaron.
Different. I think his name is Aaron. Maybe I'm wrong about his name, but I'm pretty sure it was Aaron.
Maybe.
Yeah. Actually,
Eric with the other alternative spelling.
the other alternative. The other. Wait, what?
Arik.
Oh, okay, Eric. Okay. Yeah, Eric. Yeah, Eric. Yes. Okay. Yeah. All right, well, the AR got me.
They're all pronounced
and
the same, but
The A and the R got me mixed up. I thought it was Aaron.
yeah, no, I could see.
So,
yeah.
I've been a while.
I believe he sold out of Magic though.
Oh,
So,
okay.
we might not be seeing him play Titan anytime.
All right, probably not. I would imagine.
Unfortunately, he had been playing the deck for a while too.
You always hate to see it when a player sells out, but
It's been happening a lot lately. There's a lot going on in the economy.
yeah,
Gas is like $5. It's coming down, but
yeah,
it's still bad.
apparently the national average is like 420.
Pretty good.
I think it's actually 421, unfortunately. So it's not the best possible number, but
420. $420.69 is not what you want to see gas prices.
definitely not. I was thinking more in the range of if we're going to go for the real meme, it should be 69 cents.
Oh yeah,
That would be the.
well, that's before our time, I think. At some point,
I think my parents might have been alive for that.
Oh yeah, no, I remember my parents talking about gas below $1, especially where you're at in the country.
Yeah.
If you're by big oil factories, it might be a little cheaper.
Yeah. Also, generally less populated areas tend to be cheaper. My fiance goes to school in Michigan, and it's a less populated area than here near Chicago, and gas is generally like 25 to 50 cents cheaper up near her, so it's pretty great.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah.
Down to 6. Probably wants to find a hand with at least one answer to a Titan, whether it be a palm or Path to Exile.
I mean, I figured he would have just wanted like one mountain and 6 bolts.
I mean, that's not bad. I'm pretty sure Will is not on Radiant Fountain, so having a way to like gain a bunch of life to um not die to the all burn spell hand is probably not an option.
Well, if he has the jellyfish,
Oh, sure. He can make a bunch of mana, I guess.
but that kind of requires more time.
It
So
also requires a lot of mana to gain like
Yeah.
a reasonable amount of life.
yeah,
And then
yeah, that is true. It is half X.
it is mostly for the card draw.
Yeah,
Just drawing 2 cards as opposed to getting 2 life.
yeah,
The 2 life is not as significant.
no, yeah. It is. It being half X is a little bit of a restrictor on that.
Yeah.
Half X rounded down even.
That's solely just because it says draw a card as well.
Yeah.
If it was life, it would not even be rounded down.
Oh yes, 100%. I think realistically the card would. I mean, the card would obviously be better if it was X life and half X cards rounded down.
Right.
But like,
Yeah, I don't think it's too big of a deal. It's kind of interesting wording. I wouldn't say confusing, but it would be very different from most cards in Magic.
yeah. It would definitely.
Like
It would probably be 2 separate triggers at that
I
point.
think so, yeah, because the entering with counters is as it enters the battlefield.
Yes.
This is a cast.
It is a cast trigger.
So
Yep.
It's
Yeah, having 2 cast triggers on a
that's-
card would be on a creature that has has a replacement effect as it enters the battlefield, and also flying and trample.
and 3 creature types.
And
which
3
at the
creature
time
types.
was less common.
Was it?
I
I feel
believe
like 3 creature types in that set in particular was not very uncommon.
maybe that was like more of the pioneer for that. I feel like around that time there weren't too.
I mean, I think like the original Return to Ravnica set was or the first Return to Ravnica was when we started specifically out of the Cynic was when we started seeing 3 creature types be like kind of common.
Yeah.
Although it was like mostly out of them. Also, oh no, actually, original Zendikar, there were a lot of triple creature type
nice.
creatures because a lot of allies
Yep.
got job race ally.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Ally was basically just a subtype at that point.
Yeah, race class subtype, race class ally.
Subtype.
Yeah, race class ally, because yeah,
Magic cards.
magic cards. Because Magic the Gathering.
So it looks like Will opted to keep in at least some number of amulets. I know it's not uncommon to get rid of them in the matchup because Burn could just board in a bunch of Smash to Smithereens, and you kind of blank that card if they do bring it in, as well as it doesn't offset your tempo as much. And Will having 2 amulets here is just a bounce line away from being able to cast a Titan.
Yeah.
It'll be very lethal. Actually, not. Well, it'll be lethal because.
So you can do the same thing as last time, right? Yep.
Except he'll be able to get double strike.
Also, the Urza Saga is no, he won't be able to get double spray.
I think he will because
He'll use the Vesuva to copy the thing, so it actually won't be lethal.
but it's only 4 mana to activate Sunhome, and you have a Boros Garrison. Oh no, you can't get the second Boros Garrison.
Yeah, there's no second
You
bar.
could, you could, if he has a Dryad, he could Dryad and get Crumbling Vestige, and Crumbling Vestige would make the red-white to get Slayers active, and you wouldn't need to get Boros Garrison, and then you get Boros Garrison Vesuva,
for the Slayers.
Boros Garrison Slayers.
Well, no, because you can. If you have a Dryad in play, you can get the. If you have a Dryad in play, you can use the because he has double aim that you have the Dryad in play. You can use the Crumbling Vestige
Yeah.
plus the Sunhome to make the 4 mana that you need to activate the Sunhome on the second after the second untap.
You'd be 1 off.
No, because you'll have 2 mana from you'll have 3 mana off the Crumbling Vestige because the 1 for it entering play and then the 2 from its 2 untaps.
Yeah.
And then
the one
and then the 1 from the Sunhome
from the Sun.
because it does make mana itself. Yep. Yeah. So you have exactly enough.
Yep.
Math. Yeah, you would have because normally you end up with technically 1 mana floating on the Sunhome double strike thing, right? So 1 irrelevant mana floating.
It is so irrelevant. I just forgot that it existed. So double Dryad here is going to make a lot of mana. We're going to see Summoner's Pact. Will's going to go down to 2 life because of the Roiling Vortex. But fortunately for Will, and unfortunately for Kino, Will can just deal lethal damage here. in a plethora of ways, because actually not a plethora, because we don't have that many lands in play just yet. But we can deal 20 damage through combat, and Kino is all tapped out.
Yeah. It looks like we're gonna have a pretty short match. We're gonna have to go find another one here. Looks like Will's doing some.
Yep, he's gonna give it +2/+0 and then +2/+0 again.
Yep. And then pick up the
Slayers.
Slayers. Oh, he has double ammo. So he can just replay the Slayer Stronghold, can't he? Or shouldn't he pick up the Sun, like Boris Garrison then?
He'd probably just pick up the Vesuva.
Okay. Attacks for 10. I mean, this will put 2 Valakuts into play, which will also shoot a Kino for 12, right?
Yeah.
So this is
also do.
Yeah, it is also. There we go.
Right.
All right. There's your math, and there's your death.
20 damage in one of 3 ways.
Yeah. Looks like he was dead. I mean, obviously he was dead on the next turn. I don't think there's any ambiguity, but the fact that Akino probably had another burn spell there. So yeah. I guess we'll take a quick step out to the floor and see if maybe we can find another match to get going back here.
Yeah, that one was lightning fast.
I mean, that's kind of what you expect.
Way or another,
Yeah.
quickly. Yeah.
That's kind of what you expect, I think, out of these decks. Or
I think
if we're not able to find another match, I'll see if maybe we can get one of our players from this round back here to
sure, yeah.
maybe give us some words.
We'll be back in
Just a minute. Alrighty. So we're gonna have another match starting up here in just a sec with Caleb on 4-color no black, Titan creativity, and Nico on Grixis shredder control or shredder tempo. I'm not quite sure. But right now, in the meantime, while our players are resolving, or while Caleb is resolving his mulligans, as we did catch our players in the middle of resolving mulligans, we've got Will Kowalczyk, NRG champion, back here to talk about his a little bit about the him playing Titan here at the local, the deck he won the energy with. So inquiring minds, mostly me, want to know: are you on the jellyfish build? Because there was a jellyfish build that came out over the weekend.
I haven't really been on Canister's list, but I do have a Hydroid Crisis. I do have a Hydroid Crisis in the sideboard.
Okay.
No build around, no islands or anything. Just in there, casting off either Dryad or Simic Growth Chamber.
Gotcha. Did you? I assume you would bring it in against Burn.
I did bring it in, yeah.
Okay. We saw you doing a real quick little just 1-2 punch combo pretty early with the 12ing your opponent and then also hitting him for 10 with a Titan.
Yep. Sometimes that'll do it.
Yeah, I mean, it turns out when you are playing a deck that doesn't really block very well in Burn, you can't really block a 10-10 trampler that also domes you for 12 when it attacks. Squilliam 1, complete prediction. We don't do predictions for second games. So, come on. Alrighty. So yeah. Do you have any thoughts about this match that we've got going on here before I ask you if you have any thoughts about the match you just played?
This match going on right now, based on what I know about the decks, I would assume Nico's at the advantage. I'm assuming there's a fair amount of hand hate, Thoughtseizing Inquisition against a relatively fragile combo deck. That's also soft to removal.
Yeah, I mean, aren't all decks soft to some sort of removal?
This one specifically because you're doing so much to target your dwarf.
Yes. Yeah. Being able to. Well, you can also. I mean, they a lot of the creativity decks now are moving more towards trying to make sure that they're hitting their non-creature tokens,
clues, or whatever that may be, treasures, something like that.
Yeah. So I know you probably don't have a whole lot of thoughts, but do you have any thoughts you want to share about the Burn matchup for Titan? How you feel about it, or?
I feel that Titan's very advantaged, not having to worry about any too much interaction, whether that be deflecting palms or your amulets being blown up by smashes. That's typically easy to play around. They have 2 mana open. I'm going to assume they have a deflecting palm and just try to kill them with Valcuts.
Oh yeah, because deflecting palm only prevents the next amount of damage one time. It's not until end of turn, right?
I'm not going to try to 20 them with a Titan because I'll die.
Yes. Well, I mean,
I'll take 10.
You'll take 10.
They'll take 10.
Yes. Both players will take 10. Generally, I think that's a trade that would advantage the Burn player.
Yep. As I'm probably lower than at that point.
Yeah. Unless you're going first and doing this to them on turn 2. And then, then they don't have the 2 mana to be able to deflecting palm you. So, I guess if you went second. Yeah. And
sometimes they'll have Path of Exile too as well. So.
Yes. I believe we saw Kino bring that in. He was playing literally your deck, right?
So, my deck.
So I guess what if you were a Kino out of your list, what would you have brought in there?
Sometimes I'm on Blood Moon right now. There's Blood Moon, Paths, Deflecting Palms.
Okay, that was James wasn't sure about the Deflecting Palm. He was fairly certain about
and Smashes as well.
And Smashes, well, 3 Smashes I think from what he was saying.
3 Smashes, and there's 1 Wear Tear as well, which is really good at killing Dryads.
Yeah, that does also blow up Dryads. So looks like Nico just inquisitioned Caleb's creativity, which is kind of a problem. It looks like Caleb's hand is loaded up on lands.
Yes.
There might be one other card in there that's not a land, but
not always an issue though. Getting a dwarf sometimes is good enough to top deck a creativity into.
Yeah. Have you played the creativity deck at all, or just played against it?
Played against it. Seen some opinions on it.
Okay.
It did win the modern RCQ over the weekend at NRG.
It did. Yeah. I don't remember the name of the person who won the RCQ.
I believe it was Sky.
Yes, that's right. Sky something. Yep. I saw their tweet about it on Twitter.
Yep.
I think you follow them. Right? Kino follows them? You follow them. I don't follow Kino on Twitter. Yeah. Yes. But yeah. So.
Yeah. This matchup though, Nico definitely looks like he's got the driver's seat in this game.
Oh yes, yeah. Although it looks like Caleb did take down in game 1. So Nico does need to win this game in order to keep going in the match.
Hopefully Nico's on some form of engineer explosives, clearing all those tokens.
I'm pretty sure he would be, based on what I know about cursed land. Cursed land. Okay. Because Caleb is cursed with only lands. I see. I mean, I would assume he would be based on. I know Eric. Eric is a big fan of Grixis decks in general, and Nico and Eric are good friends. So I imagine Eric would have given Nico many thoughts on this, and I imagine Nico value. I know I value Eric's opinion on Grixis decks
Yeah.
quite highly, so I'd assume Nico does as well.
I usually assume he knows more than me about Grixis decks.
Yeah, exactly. So, yep, looks like there's Caleb fetching up a Dwarven Mine to probably block this Darcy, maybe?
I'd assume so.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a removal spell now.
Yeah, looks like Nico's got the drown though.
I still see this as a win.
Yeah, I mean, not gonna when he doesn't have for later when you're already gonna let that thing die anyway.
Yep.
And I mean, you're gonna take an extra 1 for it now, but
Personally, if I were Nico, I wouldn't swing into the open Dwarven Mine, but maybe.
I don't know. Maybe I mean, he still has the 2 mana up there. If they're both, if he has another drown in hand and the mana to cast it, I don't think I hate it. Although I don't think that the steep end's there. I think that's
It's like
another
Blackleaf Cliff.
Yeah, I think it's 2 Blackleaf Cliffs.
No blue open.
Yeah,
Nico's on 1 blue.
yeah, because I know Nico bought the full place out of the shock secret layer, so he's like me on all secret layer shocks for modern. So
Also, something to consider. Nico can, when he hits his 5th land drop, just slam this Giganta and really ramp up that clock.
oh yeah, we did buy Gigantha. I missed that. Yeah, and we haven't. Nope, neither player. Well, Caleb, being cursed with lands, has not cast a 2nd spell.
Yep.
And Nico doesn't appear to have double spelled at all. So this shredder is. I mean, it's just a really slow clock right now. Maybe looks like Nico might be considering an expressive iteration here.
It's hard to pass up an expressive iteration.
Yeah. Oh no, just a 2nd shredder. Okay.
Maybe we'll trigger both of them this turn.
Yeah, if we find another spell. Although I think we would be doing that before we attacked. If that's what we were up
We're
to.
gonna kill the DRC again.
Yeah, I mean, if Nico doesn't, and Nico doesn't have the removal spell, so if he had, he could have gotten the counter on the shredder to get in for more damage. But just even if he has it, I guess opting to let it go, maybe, or I guess if it's drowning the lock, he wouldn't have the mana for it because he doesn't have the double blue.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Something to consider there.
Yeah. This Grixis. Looks like Nico now has Delirium. Yeah, this Grixis mana base. Not the most stable, I will say.
Valakut.
Yeah, Caleb just apparently has a Valakut in play and just played a mountain.
Who needs spells?
Wait, how did we do that? There's 6 lands, and Valakut requires 5 other mountains. That should not have happened. Yeah, can you run out there and correct the game state real quick? Will has run out to get our game state corrected there, because Valakut checks for 5 other mountains and is also itself not a mountain. And Caleb does not have a Dryad in play. And Valakut says other mountains, which looks like our players are learning right now. So getting that fixed real quick, and yeah, we're just implementing the correct fix of we can easily walk this back as the game state has not appreciably changed in any fashion. Yeah, because reading the card explains the card, as Caleb is learning. Yeah, looks like we've got that all sorted now, and we are all good to go. Yeah, and there's that thing that Nico, or not with the Nico, that Will was just talking about. Nico slamming a Gigantha into play, gonna massively increase his clock here, over doubling, or actually almost triple his clock. Yeah, that was what happened there. It looked like. Yep. Both players learning that mountain deck. Both players learning that Valakut says other mountains.
Yep.
And that is not itself a mountain. So Nico did that thing you were talking about where he slammed the Gigantha, but it looks like Caleb had played a mountain and then cast lightning bolt. It looks like, because I think that's the Japanese the Japanese mystical archive lightning bolt.
Yeah,
over there. So Yeah.
When I play Titan, all the lands are mountains sometimes, so who cares? You don't really need a Valakut itself is a mountain.
Yeah, when you play Titan, either all the lands are mountains or none of the lands are mountains.
Yep, my deck runs no mountains and 2 Valakuts.
Sometimes 3.
Yeah, sometimes 3.
Well, I'm referring to the Vasuva.
Yep.
So 2.5.
Vasuva's every land.
Yes.
Even my opponent's lands.
Yes. I have definitely had an opponent Vasuva my basic planes.
I've Vasuva nothing before, just so it would enter untapped and I could tap it to Dryad.
That is, yeah, that is an option. I forgot that that's an option.
Only enters tapped if you have it copy something.
Yeah, and if you have a Dryad in play, it's all basic land types, so who cares what it's copying or nothing at all?
Yep, it was really awkward when the Dryad died after that.
Yeah, I would imagine so. Looks like Nico casting Kolagon's command here, the foil extended art version.
Very reminiscent of the duress of its time.
Yeah, people were definitely when that art got previewed, people were definitely pulling up pictures of it and being like, "Ah, look, another just copying." But I mean, it's not. They are different enough that it's obviously the same. So I mean, obviously taking inspiration from, but I think that's okay.
Yeah.
Being
that it is Kolagon's command.
Yes.
I think Duress should have copied Kolagon's command there.
Yeah. Yes. The person who did the duress art obviously just can see the future.
Yeah.
So, Caleb tanking on looks like probably not enough. Maybe another Valakut. It looks like it was another red land. Looks like Caleb's still cursed with lands.
This DRC being active too really makes Caleb have to do something now.
Yeah. Looks like we're cycling a Kedria Triome. And that might be a growth spiral, a wear tear.
I can't really tell.
Yeah.
Oh.
Caleb just scooping it up. Going to game. I assume going to game 3, assuming our count at the bottom here is correct.
I don't know. I still think Nico's favorite after this, even though Caleb will be on the play.
Yeah, I think the tempo removal deck.
Yep.
Even on the draw will be favored with hand attack spells. Will be favored against the combo deck. Caleb does have Blossoming Calms.
Yep.
So that might be. I know we were discussing. I was making a joke as the players were getting ready to move over to the feature match area about Caleb being annoying and problematic because he caused both of our judge calls in round 1. He asked me about how Rebound interacted with Remand, which is of course favorably for him, and then his opponent was asking about how Searing Blaze interacted with Blossoming Calm, which is of course also favorably for him. Well, I mean favorably for the player that was asking the question. I should clarify. So actually your opponent also from round 2, from this round.
Burn.
Yeah. Asking about how Searing Blaze multi-target spells interacts with one target gaining hexproof. It does what the player casting the multi-target spell wants, which is resolve as much as it wants, or as much as it can. Sorry.
As long as the target spell still has one legal target upon resolving, it can still resolve.
Yep. So, but yeah, I would have told the whole story to Nico, but instead I couldn't because it is a relevant spell in this matchup.
Yeah.
Because Caleb may choose to use it.
I think Blossom Calm is pretty good in this matchup, especially on the play.
Yeah, it's gonna blank your opponent's hand attack spells, and I don't think Nico saw it at all, so I don't think he's gonna be playing around it.
Yep.
So
I don't think you should.
looks like Caleb might have a Rest in Peace there in his hand.
That'd be interesting.
It looks like it's the if it is a Rest in Peace, it looks like it's the Gideon art.
Yeah. So, I don't know how I feel about Rest in Peace in this matchup. Well, taking a mulligan anyways, but
I mean, I think I believe Nico's on Murktides.
it also turns off Drown in the Locks. Turns off. It doesn't. It still kills tokens.
Yes, but if you're Caleb and you're able to just keep it to targeting the non-creature tokens, then it does in fact turn off Drown in the Lock. Also, Darcy's are 1/1s, cutting that clock by a third is a big deal.
Yeah.
Making Murktides 7 mana spells. That is, I think, pretty good. I didn't see all of it, but it looked like that was 2 lands, 2 baubles, and a Darcy.
Yeah,
and then
some other cards in there too. I only saw the 2 baubles, DRC, and a couple fetch lands. But
yeah, I think there was one other card in that hand. I mean, it's a 7. There was one other card in there. I just missed what it was. But yeah, pretty powerful hand there out of Nico. And it looks like there we go. Caleb making a non-creature token right off the bat.
There we go.
So
and even though assuming what Nico might do, I like holding one of the baubles here, playing it safe, using your bauble go turn 1 DRC bauble, holding a second bauble to fix with your fetch lands, or potentially draw a Ledger Shredder off.
All right. So hear me out. We have double bauble.
Yep.
I know all of the things you said are good and smart. I think we might have not. I think one of the lands in our hand might have not been a fetch. I think it was just one fetch and then one other land.
I think I saw.
Was it double fetch?
I couldn't really tell you for sure, but
Okay. If it was, if assuming one of them wasn't a fetch, is there a consideration to bauble yourself first before deciding which land you play? If in case the card on top of the card you want to keep, and then you just play the Darcy and say go.
yeah, that's usually the turn 1 line from my experience on.
I mean, without
time.
casting the Darcy.
Yes.
So yeah.
I like doing that just to fix my draws, especially against the combo deck where I need to interact with.
Yeah. Opting to throw away a fatal push, which could kill a token here.
I think that's fine, considering they have a clue. You're not looking for the removal spell, you're looking for the counter spell. Or the
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. And Nico bobbling but not cracking either of them yet. I'm wondering if he's deciding to keep this on top. It looks like he has elected to keep this on top, and he's gonna double bobble Caleb. You definitely,
I'd stagger them
yeah,
to get more information.
yeah.
You're not drawing your mana spells.
All right, he might play a fetch land here, and then you gain no information. I guess you gain information about a card in his deck, but not not a card in his hand, which I think is the more
A
powerful
chance at
thing.
information still.
Yes. Yes, this is fair. Looks like the card Nico knows about is a lightning bolt.
Yep.
So he knows that Darcy is not long for this world.
Also, forcing your opponent to fetch just so they don't know what's on top of your card, especially when they are the Dwarven Mind deck, I'm fine with. That's
Yes. Yeah, that is fair. Although, it is possible these Dwarven Mind decks do tend to run a pretty high density of fetches to be able to consistently hit those Dwarven Minds. So it is totally possible that Caleb just is on a mono fetch hand anyway.
That's fair.
So and I was right. That was a rest in peace that I saw in that hand there, and it is in fact the Gideon rest in peace.
Different rest in peace potentially because he did mulligan.
No. That was the rest in peace was in the second hand, the one he kept.
Was it? I
Yes.
didn't see that.
That was when we were talking about it.
Yeah.
Was after he had decided to keep. But yes.
Second fetch land there.
Yep.
Thoughtseize, just what he wants.
Slot sneeze against.
Nothing.
Yeah, I mean,
Wear Tear is interesting.
I think I'm going to take this wear tear just because it's the non-redundant effect here. Although I don't know what are you bringing wear tear in?
EE probably.
Just for EE? Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
It is the most devastating card against you, I think.
Yeah, because it will blow up all of your tokens.
Yes.
So yeah, that is a bit of a problem. Although yeah, Nico opting to remove a lightning bolt instead of the non-redundant effect.
Hitting a lightning bolt really tells me that Nico's on very few threats in hand and is trying to push for damage without being interrupted on that.
Yeah, that also that's kind of
Also,
Yeah.
Caleb is very land light here. 2 lands in play, no lands in hand.
yeah,
Might be forced to sacrifice this clue.
which is not where you want to. Yeah, looks like he is not where you want to be. Is the facing down the many removal spells control deck.
Yeah.
Although I did see
Saw creativity, I believe.
yeah, I saw an unholy heat over in Nico's hand, which only deals 2 damage with that rest in peace in play. So that crab is safe for now.
I mean, Nico could swing DRC in
Yes.
and potentially kill the crab, which is not a bad play.
No, I mean if you get the free kill on the crab there, I mean you take the free kill on the crab there.
Yeah. And if he doesn't block, your DRC now is swinging for damage.
Yeah. I mean only one, but got to do 15 to him somehow.
Yep.
So
Lightning bolt, assuming that's starting the DRC here.
yeah, not looks like Nico didn't opt for the attack in to try to clear the crab.
Then again, Caleb is also 2 lands off of actually casting this creativity for 1 on a crab.
Yeah, we still haven't found another land despite the I think it's now 3 draws because I think Caleb is now untapped once.
Yeah. Both players are certainly sputtering here.
I am confused as to what just happened there. That Darcy should not be untapped and the crab dead. Yeah, that crab survives no matter what there. I'm so confused. I thought Caleb lightning bolted the Darcy.
Maybe he lightning bolted. I missed what was being targeted here.
Yeah, I'm confused as to what happened there.
The
It looked
crab
like
appears to be in play, and the
yeah, the crab should be in play. That's correct. The unholy he will only deal 2 damage, and the crab is taking 0.
yes, it looks
was
like they
nice.
maybe fixed whatever the issue was.
Yes. I'm gonna run out there real quick and okay. No, our players are carrying on with it. I'll assume that they got whatever the issue was, that they got it sorted. Duh. Nico has double of all of his colors this time.
Yeah, there we go.
Double blue. Although not enough mana to be able to irrelevantly double. Still not quite enough mana to be able to irrelevantly double Drown in the Lock.
Yeah.
Although I guess relevantly because there's a crab in play.
Looks like we got a swamp in play.
There we go. Now we could double Drown in the Lock if we needed to. Kill that crab twice. Although again, Caleb's still being stuck on 2 lands. Probably not something Nico needs to be imminently worried about.
Yeah. If I were Nico, I'd be digging for threats at this point. You can't let the game go on, and
Yeah, I think I'm.
there we go.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a threat.
That's a bump in the night.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's not even a threat. It's just a bump in the night. Jeez.
Oh, I guess he
Not even a bump in the night. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, Ren doesn't do anything, so you sure. Is there a consideration there to maybe just buy Gigantha, and then if you draw a land, you play it next turn. If not, then you croak them.
That's what I'm thinking. He might have the drawn a lock, just holding it up for whatever reason. You're not really worried about Caleb
Also,
taking
like-
3 lands.
Yeah. Also, he only has 2 lands and plan has for several turns. He doesn't have a land in hand, so he's definitely discarding a non-land card, and he's going to discard whatever card's the worst in his hand. So like, I don't.
Yeah.
Really think you're getting much value out of firing off that Croakson now. Maybe trying to hold it until your opponent's empty-handed
Yep, kind of
would be possibly a better play there.
choking them on their better cards there.
Yeah, because if we have a land, we could have been slamming Gigantha this turn and starting the clock, and it looks like we do have the land. So
Making me think he's just holding up a 2-drop this whole game.
yeah, now finally buying Gigantha. Could have been casting it this turn.
Now he's going to go shields down on the turn. Caleb potentially has 4 mana. If he does,
We still have 2 mana up. We have
yeah. But if he does slam Gigantha, he might be shields down.
Oh yes. Yeah. Slamming the Gigantha will. Oh yeah. Now Caleb is at that 4 mana.
I do honestly like end step killing this crab just to not worry about. Then you can slam Gigantha.
Yeah.
Really.
Oh yes. Yeah. If that crab is gone.
Assuming Caleb has no fetch lands that I see. It looks like one of the lands is even a Valakut. So this Dwarven Mind's not entering and making a dwarf. Yes.
Yeah. One of the that Valakut didn't enter play last turn.
None of the lands appear to be fetches either.
Yep. And Caleb does have the creativity. And also it looks like maybe a nature's claim, which I assume would like the previous. Oh, you know what? He could also have not likely, but he could also potentially have push. Yeah, there's a push. Could also have ley lines.
Ley lines, yep.
That's another thing, but nature's claim. Oh no, that's a Titan. That's a Titan over there in Caleb's hand.
Oh wow.
2 mana off of that Titan. I don't think there's a single green mana on the board right now.
It does
Actually,
look the,
that might be a Wooded Foothills over
the
there.
farthest
Fine,
land.
yeah. Yep. Nico shocking in a Watery Grave. And it looks like we're going to,
Play this Giganta.
yeah, put Big J into play. That's a 3-turn clock. That'll get him dead sometime.
It is a little bit worrying though.
Yeah, if Caleb's able to make a token here,
Which
he
that is
can't.
touching.
We would have needed to hold it to get if we hit the mountain to yeah. Like firing off that fetch here means we're not getting the token. I think if I was Caleb, I would have held that, hoped to draw any land in my deck
Any fetch
other than
or
Valakut. Yeah, any non-Valakut. I think every land in his deck is a fetch or a mountain, except for the Valakuts.
Yeah.
So, you know, he might have Cavern of Souls.
Yes.
I assume that would probably be a sideboard card.
Yeah. I drew a Wood of Hills, so he didn't get punished.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. But you just get to, you just go for it, right?
I think you have to.
Like, you go for it, because if you hit the land next turn, you can Titan. You're under it's still a 3-turn clock. That is the good thing about this.
Yep. Nico's almost entirely tapped out, and
Yeah, he has to have exactly Fatal Push. That's the only thing that answers it here on 1 mana.
he just used one on the crab.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I guess he could have Spell Pierce.
Sure.
Also destroying the Gigantha.
I mean, to be fair, he can make it a Croxa, might get a
Yeah.
Dragon's Rage Channeler. I think that's a good choice.
Yeah. Yeah, there are a lot of things that I think Nico could flip into here that are not particularly relevant. So, yeah. Both players going up. Caleb just flipping straight into Titan right off the top. Oh, we also had Flusterstorm we could have hit for Caleb or for Nico. That could have stopped this thing as well. But I mean, paying the full 5 into it is correct. You definitely it shuffles the entire thing back in. You definitely. I mean, you can't play around Spell Pierce or Flusterstorm anyway. So you can't. You don't really have the opportunity to play around any of them, so you just don't, I guess. And Caleb probably going to go get 2 mountains here. One of those bolts at the shredder and probably 1 face, I would assume.
Not even Mountain Valakut if he runs multiple Valakuts.
He can't. Doesn't have we would need to hit the 6.
Oh yeah, we're
So
one
we have
off still.
Yeah, we were only at 4 mountains. We were only just now at 4 mountains. So as we learned last game.
There we go. Learn half the battle.
Looks like we have Ian Cullinan in the chat. Although I suspect that might not actually be that person may not actually be who they claim to be. As I know, Ian Cullinan is out there playing some Modern right now. We have an imposter. Someone tell Ian he's a victim of identity theft. the most unimportant kind of identity theft. Twitch identity. Don't feel bamboozled, Chronotos. It's okay. It's still they're like the same person, really. The impersonator has just given me the bird, as it were. Nico dropping a very pitiful Darcy in front of this Titan that's probably gonna
Kill the Darcy.
kill it. Well, I mean, yeah, I don't even think I'm gonna bolt the Darcy. The Titan has trample. Yep. I'm just gonna attack and shoot him in the face.
Yeah, just play your second Primeval Titan in hand, and then, the rest was hit. The rest will be history.
Yeah, it looks like Nico wanted to resolve that in the other order. Shredder doesn't do anything when it hits the second spell, as it did not see the spell.
Yeah.
Thought seizing Caleb.
By Primeval Titan. I
Does
don't
it trigger the Shura? Oh, does trigger the Darcy with the Shura. Yeah. Oh my God.
No looking at the Primeval Titan.
Yeah. Nico's still making his decision on what he wants to do here. The my head. All right, looking like he's decided to keep that on top, and he's going to take that other Titan. Yeah, I mean that's obviously correct. If Caleb got to cast that Titan, he'd get at least one more Valakut, and then you're just dead on the attack.
Yes.
Where, as it stands, I think we're probably
Still dead, I assume.
yeah. What are all right? I'm gonna go find out what our players are trying to get sorted out here. I'll leave you in just in. All right, excuse me, guys.
Still some confusion about what's going on. Trying to get this sorted out as quickly as possible. There we go. Continuing with Caleb's turn. Slamming a second Primeval Titan anyways. Who cares? Thought he's the first. We got a second now anyways.
Our players were just discussing that there had been a little error there. Not too big of a deal.
Don't worry, Caleb just drew his second Primeval Titan anyways.
Yeah, I think Nico's just super dead.
Yep. Well, that wraps it up.
Alrighty, that'll be the end of round 2 here. We'll be back in just a couple minutes with bringing you round 3 here at Chupacabra Games Modern Mondays. Alrighty, hello viewers, we are back. With James is back here. Currently, we have Darren versus No Name. Darren's on, as you can see, Team of Rhinos, and Eric is. This is actually the other player. Is that's at the table there is Eric, and I'm pretty sure he's on a similar deck to Steven.
Yep.
But in fact, I know he's on a similar deck to Steven because I saw the days undoing earlier. But I think he's on the single days. Oh, also I talked to Steven.
Yep.
He's on 2 days undoings.
Okay.
And we came up with we came up with some ideas to get rid of that Kahira. I was like, this is what I would suggest if you were going to stay on 60 and get rid of Kahira.
Sure.
And I was like, also maybe, you know, if you wanted to put Yorion in here and get March of Otherworldly Lights and maybe it's some additional other things to do. And also had those snaps in there.
Yeah, I think the Yorion, the blue-white Yorion decks aren't. I don't think they're worse than the normal blue ones, but the 4-color matchup does get worse. So
Yeah, I mean, I think you're. Yeah, I think you're kind of a dog in the
most
4-color matchup anyway.
It's not that much worse.
No, not really. All right, start a predication. We have Arik, Garich on. He might actually be banned. I'm just gonna put.
I think he does.
Oh, no, it just says blue white dummy.
He has the
Dates.
Spars headquarters.
Yeah, he does have.
I think it's just for Veil in the sideboard.
Yeah.
And then bigger ending.
So I'm just gonna put blue white days again.
Yeah.
And then we have Darren on Teamer Rhinos. That's too many R's. Strat prediction. Okay, come on. Go back to where I wanted you. Go. All right. That to the full screen-ishness. Still make sure we can see chat.
Yeah. Yeah, so this is Eric on the play. Starting his second turn here. Able to hold up counterspell, but I don't think that should matter.
No, the Rhino deck usually doesn't do anything until turn 3.
They will probably ice. But that's really just gonna stop Teferi. It could stop counterspell if Eric misses a line drop though.
There you go.
A big thing for these Cascade decks are just hitting line drops, so
yeah,
that is a goal in and of itself for the deck. But also having to play around some of the worst cards for the deck are, Supreme Verdict, Teferi, and
Flusterstorm.
Flusterstorm. I'm talking game 1.
Oh shit!
All these cards are game 1.
Oh, look, there's that Teferi you were just talking about. And it looks like Darren has no force negation here, so.
Yep, I would have iced Eric on his upkeep, just to prevent the Teferi.
Did you see an ice in Darren's hand?
No,
Okay.
but
I was that's why I was like, I was like, I don't know if he has. Yes,
If
obviously he had. Yes, yeah, to stop the Teferi. He's still holding up counterspell, but yeah, and Eric doing the correct play here, not opting to tick down that Teferi going up.
Oh yeah,
because it would die to Stomp or Dead Gone. Did Dead Gone in the main deck, or is it just Stomps?
Is not eroded at all. It just hits creatures.
Oh, right. Yes. For some reason in my head, I assumed it also went face.
No, that would be a lot better, honestly.
Yeah, that would.
Because it would hit Teferi.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it would just be Stomp that would make that Teferi exit the field.
Darren might be on Prismari Command.
Oh yes, I know he is a fan of that card.
Also Fury.
Yeah, I know. Darren is a big fan of Prismari Command. So yeah. Oh, and Fury, of course. Yes. But taking it up to 5 and I think now 6, keeping it well out of range of that Fury. So
yeah, this game already looks like it's over. If Darren hasn't added anything to the board yet, it's pretty rough. This is definitely a matchup where you want Fable the Mirror Breaker in your deck.
Yeah. I mean, I think realistically, all we're waiting for here is Eric to stick something that's gonna kill Darren, and there it is.
Do it.
Yeah. I think if I'm Darren, I'm good. I would be good packing it in, unless my hand is like really well set up, because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, this game 1 is pretty abysmal. You really need stuff like Mystical Disputes.
Eric opting to Brainstorm instead of.
You might as well.
All right, so we're already rolled up on him not being able to do the thing. I think I want to protect this Jace from Fury, and I think I would plus myself to Scry.
I think Fury's gonna hit Teferi before it hits Jace.
Sure, that's probably.
I think that's just
that's
that's just a consideration.
That's probably true. I don't know. I think I still would want to get started on the ending the game.
That is fair.
Because at this point, you sort of haven't presented the clock.
I mean, Eric just might have had a hand of lands. It's not a lot of interaction.
Yeah. And there's a hard cast subtlety just to threaten those planeswalkers.
It is
Is there
something.
a main deck card for
Uh,
Rhinos?
I was main decking it.
Okay.
I like it in the main board over Fable or Endurance.
Okay.
It's a pretty good catch-all. It hits Teferi, signifying that Darren probably just drew the subtlety.
Yep.
As he would have cast it.
Yeah.
For the pitch cost.
Yeah, I would assume so. It looks like Eric opting to downtick Narset.
Yeah, I think that one is allowed to search. It is not really going to die or be too meaningful.
Yeah, I don't particularly expect this subtlety to go at Narset.
No,
I think this Jace might downtick and make it go away.
probably. You might as well. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's zero cost there, and then like if you happen to find the days, you've just now rolled everything up.
Right.
So and I don't think there are any creatures that Eric could be prismatic ending onto, but he is theoretically holding that up here with the plus on the Teferi and the 2 lands up. So
I guess if somehow Rhinos come down,
yeah, through some miracle. Well, I mean,
it's like double fury.
is there Brazen Borrowers? Okay, so we could borrow the Teferi and then immediately cascade.
Yeah, if it resolves somehow.
Yes,
Um,
if all of these things resolve into our opponent's almost, I think would be, I would assume very obvious open double blue.
Oh yeah.
So
Here is the counterspell.
yeah, on that subtlety to
A 4 CMC creature kind of hard to deal with for blue white though.
yeah.
This is helping a lot there.
Yes, yeah, and I mean now I think. I think I just saw a verdict in Eric's hand, so I think we're gonna start seeing this Teferi or this Jace go up. Because Teferi will.
Before.
Yeah, we have the guaranteed we have the carte blanche answer. We're just gonna. I think we might Narset just to. We might take Narset down to 1 just because if we randomly hit the days, waiting until his draw step and refilling our hand and
Stripping him of
yeah, just like straight up mind twisting him is that's pretty poggers.
yeah. If this doesn't end the game, that certainly will.
Yeah.
And I think with the triple planeswalker,
Yeah, although it does look like Eric opted to.
as well as Supreme Verdict at instant speed.
Yeah,
I think it's looking pretty good.
it does look like Eric opted to not downtick that Narset. I guess playing around Stomp is the only thing I could imagine. I don't know. I think the opportunity of finding Days Undoing. Oh, we just already had the Days Undoing. Never mind.
Yeah, this should do it.
Yeah, I think any deck should concede to that.
Yeah. At this stage in the game. That's a blue white. Against all odds.
Blue and that white.
Beat Rhinos.
I don't know what I'd say against all odds. The deck's, assuming Eric's on the similar build to Steven, the deck's main decking 3 Chalice.
Oh, yeah. Bit of sarcasm there.
Yeah, okay. Although I will say, I think Eric is not on the Stoneforge sideboard juke that Steven was on.
Okay. It probably won't matter for this matchup.
Yeah, I don't. Oh, I don't know. Cauldron Complete do a real good job of blocking 4/4s.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And an unanswered Cauldron Complete definitely one of the best things I can be doing out of Death and Taxes against Rhinos. Other than
they
just
Brazen Borrower too. So.
yes, yeah, and
Dead Gone.
yes, yep, yeah. But if I have a giver, if I have a giver, they're just like owner. Also, they'd have to Gone is the bounce spell, right?
Gone is the bounce. Yeah.
Gone is the bounce. Yeah. And if I have a giver, Brazen Borrower has to target the Cauldron Complete, and then I can just reactivate Stoneforge and put it back into play, and your giver was wasted. So I did have somebody do that one. I forget who it was, but they bounced my Cauldron Complete, and I was like, okay, before blocks, reactivate Stoneforge, put it back. And they're just like, that is how that. They were like, that is how that. Well, no, the haste wasn't relevant because they were attacking. And I was like, I'm block, and I'm like, put it back, block, and they're like, yep, that is how that works. They just backed it up because I think it was their last Rhino.
Oh yeah, yeah. That does not seem very good for Rhinos either. Rhinos has some pretty polarizing matchups.
Yeah, it's not a matchup that Death and Taxes generally wins in my experience. I think that was like the one time I managed to take a match off somebody. I'm with Death and Taxes anyway, because I did play Adam. The one time Adam tried out Rhinos, he did Q into my Grixis control deck.
Yeah.
The 4 damnation 3 This 4 damnation 3 Hitotsugu consumes all.
Yeah, that's a card. It kills rhinos too.
Also 4 or 3 or 4 Fury.
Yeah.
So yeah, just
Mega Fury. That was one of your win cons.
no, that was the win con.
That was the win con.
Oh well, okay.
Hitotsugu.
No, yeah, Hitotsugu. There was also Jace, and I did have Chandra Awakened Inferno.
Yeah. Look at all these win cons.
Oh no, the sideboard I had Murktide, which I actually brought in against Adam.
Yeah, I mean, 8/8 dragon blocks a 4/4 rhino. So.
Yep. I would probably just cast it as a 3/3 and eat other things because I think I was on snaps also.
Oh, because you've Hitotsugu.
And then Hitotsugu just like
That's interesting.
down takes and eats all of it.
Kind of a nombo, kind of a combo.
Yeah. Like, what if I make it an 8 and then all of a sudden, oh hey look, my Hitotsugu ticked up to 2 and ate the rest of my graveyard and the just spells that are in there.
Right.
Whoops.
Yeah. Large dragon.
Turns out Lord's Dragon Lord.
No.
Looks like Eric either not on or opting to not use the Stoneforge package. I like I said, I believe Eric is just not on the Stoneforge package.
It's probably not amazing either. I mean, like, there's a lot of theories. There's
I think your deck is
Bone Crusher.
probably well suited enough
I think so.
without it. Dead Gone being maybe
You're
a
just
problem.
trying to draw chalice here.
Yeah.
On the draw, I think. And they really just have Force Negation to counter it. And
No Force of Figures?
It could bring it in. I don't think you're as incentivized to bring it in. You probably bring in Foundation Breaker if you're playing it.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, you're not living and you're not also concerned about rest in peace.
Right. It would hit just one card, but hitting that one card might just be good enough.
Yeah.
I know.
And like you can always 4 mana cast it too if you have to.
Yeah, you could.
Obviously not what you want to be doing.
It's a little expensive.
A little slow.
Yeah.
Like both players are keeping 7s. Oh no, Darren is keeping a 6. I'm sorry. Eric's keeping a 7. Eric, I can see at least a Force Negation in his hand over there. And Darren leads on the Ketria Triumph. So you played Rhinos for a period of time, right? Also, we're considering playing it for the Store Championship, I believe.
I was, yeah.
So you have some degree. You definitely have a degree of experience on the deck.
Oh yeah.
What would you be bringing? Assuming this was your sideboard, what would you be bringing in here?
Mystical Dispute is definitely the first thing you want to bring in. I mean, if you have subtleties in the sideboard, obviously bring those in too. I think outside of that, there's not. The good thing about Rhinos, the reason I picked it up for a little bit is the sideboard just looks really clean. It's a bunch of 4s and 3 Blood Moons. You know, that's you can interchange those cards a little bit, but I think for consistency's sake, just playing a lot of 4-ofs.
Any thought to bringing in Blood Moon in this matchup?
I think it's a little better. Obviously, I think you only bring it in on the play. But I think with Eric playing more colors of mana, you could catch him off guard. But I think it's pretty likely most of your spells will not resolve.
I don't think Darren saw the green mana at all.
From Spar's headquarters.
Yeah, I think Eric also was on a breeding pool. I don't think we saw either of those lands.
Okay, I probably wouldn't bring it in. I think against 4-color, it's a guaranteed sideboard in, but it's just not that good against the blue-white matchups. They just run so many basics as is.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Eric having a really clean answer to this Violent Outburst, Crushing Full Falls combo. Just with 1 mana Flusterstorm and then still having plenty of mana to counter other spells.
Yeah.
And no Teferi, so Darren is allowed to fight back sometimes, but not really against Flusterstorm. Not a whole lot you can do about that other than just play lands and hope for a later game. But as the game goes on, control is incredibly favored, so you kind of have to play your spells when you have them and just hope for the best.
Yeah, looks like Teferi. Yeah, there's Teferi coming down here, and there's a 4-mana on Darren's side, and I see a subtlety over there.
I think it's time to drop it down, unless you want to pitch cast it and then have something like Mystical Dispute as backup.
Yeah, I'm almost went about to pitch
Yep,
cast it. You really paid the mana for it. Looks like Eric's gonna fetch here and maybe resolving these one at a time, I assume. Otherwise, oh, we're gonna Mystical Dispute this. That's what's going on here, because this is a blue spell. Holding up another Mystical Dispute or a Flusterstorm to Mystical Dispute the Force Negation that's about to come down here, I think.
Yeah, maximum value here, and then you end the board with the Teferi.
Yep.
Pretty favorable position, I'll say.
Yeah, and there's that pitch cast Mystical Dispute, putting the cards already into the opting to hit the Mystical Dispute. I think Darren has another Force of Negation in his hand, but I don't think he has another blue card to go along with it. Yep. Yeah, and it looks like Eric let that all resolve. I think that's probably okay. Although I guess Darren has another. We know Darren has another Force Negation, so he's going to negate this Teferi when it comes back down. But Eric could then have Counterspell. Who knows?
I think Eric has a Force Negation of his own, so it's a little awkward trying to resolve a Teferi, it seems. But we are at 6 mana now.
And there's a Beseju, revealing that we have green mana in this deck. I mean, why not? It's kind of free.
Basically a spell.
It's almost free.
Yeah.
Looks like there's going to be this Teferi and maybe hold up Force Negation. Hope Darren doesn't have another counterspell. He did pitch Mystical Dispute to that Force Negation. So I think if I'm Eric, I'm pretty safe in assuming that there's no more interaction over there.
Yeah, I think it's pretty likely. And it seems like there aren't Cascaders either. Because Darren had an opportunity to cast one the turn prior when there was no Teferi in play, but maybe he was playing around something like Supreme Verdict, but I have found that it's kind of hard to play around that card in this matchup since there are so many counterspells going back and forth trying to let this Teferi stick or not. And
it looks like
kind of just need to take the opportunities when you have them.
Yeah, and it looks like Darren did actually have the Mystical Dispute there to push through the counterspell on the Teferi, which means it will be in exile.
All right, that's good news for Darren.
Yeah.
Down to 11 as well. He's getting there for the damage.
Yeah.
Fetches are adding up, and
he had to fetch that breeding pool, it looks like.
Right.
So. And now he's down to 8. Just one set around it. I think that's a Fury Darren's got over there in his hand.
Okay, so insulated against a Teferi or any other Planeswalker that Eric is trying to play.
Yep. Well, I guess because he has the subtlety. And you have to have Teferi plus land in order to be able to do Supreme Verdict at instant speed. So,
yeah, I think Eric's probably okay Supreme Verdicting just the subtlety here if the game goes on for another turn. I don't think he would have.
It looks like we do have the Supreme Verdict too.
I think we did see him draw one, yeah.
Yeah, and I see a Force Negation
card.
Yeah, some gold card, a Force Negation, and maybe another counterspell of some sort. It looks like possibly.
There is a subtlety of Eric's coming down to block.
That was the other card, the other blue card we saw. Yeah.
Yeah. And then checks out.
Yeah. Subtlety trades with subtlety. Turns out 3/3 flyers kill 3/3 flyers.
Yeah. And Darren with one card in hand looked in a lot more trouble than he was a turn ago.
Yeah, and I am pretty sure now that is in fact a Fury. How do you feel about just slamming this Fury into play? Assuming it is Fury, how do you feel about just slamming Fury?
I think if you were going to do that, you would have had to do it a few turns ago. And I think you just wait now.
Okay.
I think you wait for Eric to play something that you can get the ability off of. Because if you slam it now, it's close. I think it likely gets countered if you just play it now. But if Eric taps some mana, then you at least tap him out.
Yep. Eric tapped 3 for something, but I'm not sure what.
He added Kahira to his hand.
Oh, okay. Cool. I'm glad you caught that because I was opening my water bottle and missed it. Kahira. The cat beast. I was having a conversation with someone earlier this week about what that was. And they were like, I think it's an elemental. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure it's a cat beast.
Yeah, no.
Here's about elementals, but I think it's a cat beast.
And nightmares as well.
Yeah, nightmares. Yeah. So each color had a creature type assigned to it.
Oh, is that what?
Yeah. So like the I forget what their technical name for them was, but like the legendary for each triome, was each of the types for each of the colors.
Oh, really?
Yes.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I feel like I've never heard anybody talk about this.
Yeah. So Nethroy is I think it was Nightmare Beast Cat.
I think so.
Because I think white. I think green is Beast. Black was definitely Nightmare, and white was Cat.
Yep.
So yeah, Nightmare Beast Cat.
Sure.
So yeah, and then red had Dinosaur and blue had Elemental.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah. Weird Magic the Gathering facts with Robert Brinker.
Yeah, I mean, it is a very strange set. Ikoria was definitely a little outlandish.
Yeah.
In the creature types that we saw there.
Yeah.
And like every other card had cycling on it. If it wasn't a goofy creature, it was a card with cycling on it.
Yes, that is
including the lands.
Yeah. Eric force negationing that Rhinos. Not going to be endurancing that back into the deck.
No, that does matter that it's not in the graveyard. As these games could go long.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, with Eric sitting at 8 and Darren sitting at 16. Although, I don't know, Eric has a 6-turn clock. I can do math, I promise.
I believe. Well, if Darren adds anything to the board, it's probably going to get a supreme verdict off of Eric. So
yeah, and also, I think the thing Darren is most likely to add to the board here is a Fury killing Kahira.
So yeah, supreme verdict is looking better.
Yeah. Yep. Hey, there we go. I'm a psychic.
This is a better scenario than if you just played Fury.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It looks like Eric also has Days Undoing in his hand right now.
Interesting.
So,
you want to refill both players at this point, though?
Okay, so I would only cast that if I also have the Narset to go
I
with.
think you have to.
Yeah.
That's.
And I think like even if in the face of what I've got going on here, although my opponent is holding up the 1 blue, I think I might just slam a Jamma if I have the Narset. But yeah, okay, I don't hate this line either.
Yeah, I mean you would go to 2 and then you die to a lot of shocks that are probably.
Oh yeah, there are. Yeah, we do have all of those Bone Crushers, right? That I forgot about that.
Yeah.
So
Bone Crushers.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I think the possible Prismari Command, Fire Ice. Yeah, like I said before, Darren is a fan of Prismari Command, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't put that past him having that instead.
It is actually bad in this matchup, though. It's in this specific version of blue-white that's playing Narset.
First card off the top, and Eric just has the straight up good old counterspell. Darren's gonna fire back with a Force Negation.
Oh, okay.
All right.
A little bit of a counter war here.
Ooh,
Veil of Summer.
Veil.
Cryptic Command.
Rough. You know what my favorite interaction with Veil of Summer is? Actually, Cryptic Command. Because whenever I Cryptic tap draw, my opponent Veil of Summer's in response, I'm just like, all right, I will draw my card and you will tap your team.
Yep. It's a commander-friendly card.
Yeah. Or one time I had an opponent do that when I was counter tapping, and they were like, does not resolve, and I'm like, well, your spell is uncounterable. That doesn't mean that my Cryptic Command doesn't still try to counter it anyway.
This is true.
So
it's a legal target. Yeah.
Tap them, boys. Just because a spell is uncounterable doesn't mean you can't try anyway.
No.
I think both of our players on kind of a lot of lands here. Hey, there's that Narset.
This is gonna favor Eric here.
There's Narset. Eric's holding up a fetch right now. We do know that there's. I only have 1 card left in hand. Maybe 2. Yeah, it might be 2. Eric is fond of stacking his hand. So that we.
No, that is.
Looks like we're gonna. Yeah.
So it looks like it was.
Oh, so maybe it was just 1 card, and I think there's another Days in that hand. Eric revealing Counterspell, which I think is like probably best possible here. Darren has too much mana for Dispute to be any good at this point. So I think Eric's just gonna immediately fetch.
I mean, Darren has seen a lot of interaction too. I'd be surprised if he still had some in his hand.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you obviously wouldn't have fired off a. You might have a mystical dispute left. I think we've only seen 2 of those, and I think the deck runs 3.
Oh, they should board into 4.
Oh, 4. Okay. Like I said, I think we've only seen 2 disputes so far, so it wouldn't.
This is
Oh.
That's huge. That is so huge, actually.
Do you counter your own Days Undoing
You
then?
might have to. I think this favors Darren.
Yeah, I think you have to counterspell your own, which means if Eric has, yeah,
I'm gonna do it. Yeah.
yeah,
Still huge.
which
for
means
him.
if Darren has a response here, Eric just okay. Looks like he's all right. Looks like we've said it's good. And with the other Days Undoing on the bottom. Oh no, we did shuffle. We looked and then shuffled.
How did the Narset go back to the hand?
It got Otawara'd.
Oh, I thought, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for some whatever reason, I thought that had already resolved.
Nope. Looks like we're having some technical difficulties with our card displayer.
Yeah, strange. Usually it's been good, but he's fine.
I'm sure our table manager will get started here momentarily. In the meantime, we'll do our best to make sure that we're accurately providing viewers with all of the card text for cards that are coming up here, in case they don't know what they are.
Well, this is the turn for Darren if he's going to deploy anything.
Yeah. I mean,
we know he doesn't have a counter.
I think we can also safely assume he doesn't have a Cascader.
Right.
If we're being honest.
He must have.
He didn't go for it last turn, and when he knew Eric was pretty much gassed out.
It must be either a land or something like Fire Ice.
Yeah. Going for the Narset here. If we find that Days Undoing, because we did shuffle it back in last turn.
Right.
That could just be amazing, but it doesn't look like we see it here. I can't tell what that is. Looks like it's Chalice. Okay. Yeah. Casting that double X spell for 0 is definitely gonna counter all those Cascade spells going forward. And it looks like Eric just natty ripped the other Days Undoing.
Wow, he's just that good.
Sometimes you're just that good.
I guess so.
Looks
Very
like
strong.
Darren has a stomp here. Probably gonna. I think I fire that stomp at Eric's face. Maybe I take it at the Narset.
is
Oh, it's Fire Ice. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. All right. So you obviously would like to not have Narset activated again.
Right.
Is there consideration to only pointing 1 at it, or do you think Eric is fine with throwing the Narset away? Okay. Yeah, that's okay. Cool. I just wasn't sure if maybe putting Eric to dead to a Fury would be worth. But and this is there is one upside for Darren here. He is going to have 2 cards in hand.
After his draw step, yeah, it's I don't think it's a winning matchup though.
No, I don't either, especially because Eric has 2 blue ups.
Yeah, that's the biggest part. Is Eric would have to break very hard for basically like 10 draws.
Yeah. Darren needs to get exactly Mystical Dispute Cascader here, and Eric needs to have Eric needs to have 0
Well, there's
free
still a
interactions. Oh right, we're just fucked.
I think it's Mystical Dispute Fury, and even then your opponent only goes to 1.
Yeah. I mean, the Narset's gone at least.
Yeah, that's something.
Then you're kind of this. I feel slightly silly for
Yeah, not pinging it once.
not pinging the opponent's face once to put them
Right.
into Fury, which is why I was thinking about maybe the send in the one upstairs. Fury, fire can divide its damage.
I think that might actually be your only line, despite it being a very slim chance that your opponent draws just nothing but bricks.
Yeah.
I think that there might not be another scenario that wins.
Yeah, and
you're
it
probably right.
lets them reactivate Narset, but it looks like Darren drew a land.
Darren's just been drawing
I-
a little too many lands.
Yeah, I think at this point, the second my opponent, if I'm Darren, the second my opponent presents a clock, I'm just gonna pack it in.
Yeah. I mean, Kahira is dealt with. And
Yeah, well, dealt with. It's back in the deck. It's back in the deck. But looks like Eric just playing a fetch and passing the turn to Darren here, giving Darren the opportunity to pull some more lands out of his deck. Thinning not super relevant most of the time, but I think we might be getting to the point where now, well, I guess there's all those fetches that just got shuffled back in. Yeah.
Those are even worse draws.
Yeah, geez. Yeah, never mind. This back to fetching being irrelevant again, huh?
It still changes about 1%.
Yeah, sure. Looks like Darren passed the turn there, and Eric flashing in a subtlety in the instep.
That's the threat you were talking about.
Yep. I mean, hey, if Darren finds a Fury, he can clear the board here, assuming Eric has nothing.
You have to have stone cold nothing.
Yeah, which we've drawn 9 cards now. I don't since that day, after including the resolution of that day's undoing. We played 1 land in a solitude, or 1 land in a subtlety. No, 2 lands in a subtlety. We just played Hollowed Fountain. So 3 of the 9 cards are accounted for. Yeah, I'm not optimistic about those 6 other cards in my opponent's hand.
Yeah, I mean, you're down a game. You might as well play it out.
Yeah, you have 20 minutes. Maybe you get there. Maybe you force a draw. Maybe I'm trying to be.
You're getting out of this game.
I'm trying to be optimistic. All right. Hey, flashing in a subtlety, but that's going to meet a counter spell. Yeah,
I think you pack it in now if you don't have anything.
we have a force negation.
Okay.
Hard cast force negation, but Eric's got his own that he's also going to hard. Yes, there we go.
Okay.
Now Darren's willing to pack it in. I think that's the right call there. Yeah,
I mean, if you're gonna have bad draws with rhinos, it might as well be in one of your worst matchups. So I mean,
main deck Chalice of the Void, main deck Teferi.
Not looking good.
Not
Main deck verdicts.
main deck Verdict. Not what you're wanting to be seeing out of your
Quite the
opponents here.
opposite.
Yeah. Just a little too hateful. Dovin's veto on the sideboard's also like that's what Steven. That's what I should have told Steven to put in his sideboard. I completely forgot about Dovin's veto.
Yeah.
When we were discussing, because we were also discussing if he goes to Yorion cutting the Stoneforge package, because I don't think you can sideboard the Stoneforge package in an 80 card deck.
No, reasonably.
So I was like rattling off all the other cards, and I completely forgot about Dovin's veto.
Yeah.
Should have told him to put 2 Dovin's vetoes in his side.
Dovin's banned. They should have called it that.
They did in German, French.
Oh, really?
One of the languages Dovin's veto is actually let me unpin that real quick. Dovin's veto in one of the other languages is actually Dovin's ban.
Well, I'm glad the Flavor Win got there in
Plain on Twitter. Looks like the issue we are having is related to Scryfall's server being down.
Oh,
Yeah, that's interesting. Was not expecting that. We should that explains what's going on. Are we still on the call? Can you tell? Please. Let me pull up. Turn on the volume over here.
all right. We're gonna take a small break here to see if we can find another match for you guys. And if not, we'll be back for round number 4.
Alrighty. We're not going to be able to bring you guys another match for the last 10 minutes, but I'm back here with Eric, the winner of our feature match just now, with the blue-white splashing green, I guess really is the best way to put it, control deck, Days Undoing control deck.
Yeah, so the green splash, I got basically 3 lands in my deck that actually cast green or will tap for green mana. One being Seiju. I feel like for the blue-white deck, Tron and certain other lands matter matchups are difficult to deal with. So I like the Seiju in the main deck. And then I have Veils and Weather the Storm in the sideboard.
Makes sense. You go. 2, 3 Veils?
I'm on 2 Veils in the sideboard and 1 Weather the Storm right now. So
Okay, cool. And the 3 lands you have are, I think we saw Breeding Pool and Beseiju, and I know you have Aspara's headquarters, so I don't think we saw it at all.
Aspara's headquarters, yeah.
Yeah, and Darren didn't see the green at all in game 1, right?
I did play the Beseiju.
In game 1? I know you might have been in game. I know you played it in game 2.
Yeah. For that matchup, the green really doesn't matter. Other than
I mean, he came in clutch that one time with the came in pretty clutch the one time with the veil.
The veil, yeah, the veil is pretty good, but I think all in all that matchup's pretty favored for blue white.
Yeah, I mean, James and I were discussing his 4 main deck Teferi, 3 main deck Chalice. You on how many verdicts are you on?
I'm on 2 in the main deck. So
Okay.
just 2 verdicts over the course of the 75. So
Cool.
yeah.
We saw round 1. We saw Steven was playing at least a similar deck to yours. I know his sideboard's much different.
Yeah.
Because he's not on the green splash at all, and he also has Stoneforges out of the sideboard.
Yeah.
Are you? What is? How many? He was on 2 Days Undoing, 4 Narset. Are you on a similar?
Yes,
split?
4 Narset, 2
Okay.
Days Undoing. So
Okay.
it seems like in all my matchups so far, I've honestly just played to the combo.
Yeah. I mean,
So
turns out him to Tarking your opponent, or not him to Tarking, mind twisting your opponent,
Mind twisting
and
that
drawing
card.
7 cards is pretty good.
Yeah, unfortunately, I've been in a few matchups where Narset hasn't been a liability. Sometimes with Unholy Heat and certain other cards, Narset isn't that great, and maybe against like Murktide or other decks that are pressuring it, I can see how it's definitely a weakness in some matchups. But my matchups kind of line up pretty well.
Okay, that's good. That's good. What are your so going back quick to Steven's sideboard juke? Thoughts on your version versus the sideboard juke to the Stoneforges?
So I saw a list like that that actually
Yeah, I think he said he got the list from
top-aided-
somewhere.
top-aided the Energy Modern 10K this past Saturday.
Oh, okay.
George Chapor. If I'm mispronouncing that name, then sorry. But yeah, I think that might be better in a bigger tournament setting where people aren't gonna know that the Stoneforges are coming out of the sideboard. When you're at a local store,
Yeah.
and, one person looks around, everyone talks.
Yeah.
Now, if he wins this next matchup and we're both playing for 4-0, I'm going to know that there's going to be Stoneforges potentially coming out of the sideboard. I think it's a good juke in a bigger tournament where, a lot of people are going to be trimming their removal spells. So I think it's good in the blind, but I'm kind of just playing to the combo at a local store.
That makes sense. Yeah, that was something Steve and I were talking about was the Stoneforge. He did it the once against Reed in round 1, and almost immediately everybody's gonna know about it.
Yeah, that's the problem with the local store, because even if you try to like bring something spicy and you even play it once before the tournament starts, everyone knows what's going on. So
like Ian, I know you played against Ian. He's on the Vivian combo.
Yeah.
He showed it to me. He's like, shh, don't, he was playtesting against Austin, and both of them were like, shh, don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
It'll be a surprise. And I'm like, I mean, everybody's gonna fucking know after round 1.
Yes.
Like even when I'm doing something spicy and ask everybody to not tell anybody, everyone knows almost everyone knows that everyone knows by round 2, and almost everyone knows
the word
after round
travels
1.
fast, and I played him round 1 and happened to get here early enough to hear that he was on 4-color Vivian. So
Yeah. Good old Kiki combo.
yeah.
I offered right before we started. I offered him if he wanted to switch decks and play a different Kiki combo deck that had Ragavan in it. He passed me up. I think that was, I don't know. I think it was the wrong decision. But I mean, hey, that deck barring pilot error, I guess across the first 4, 5. Hold on, math. Across the first 6 rounds was 4-2 at the Energy, and one of those losses was definitely to pilot error. The 4-color matchup is horrendous and not all winnable.
Yeah, you definitely have that surprise juke, but I mean, I don't know how competitive it is in terms of the entire meta versus like the other builds of 4 color control that are more
Yeah.
streamlined.
Well, I was talking about my Death and Taxes.
Oh, your Death and Taxes list? Yeah.
What up, Will? Yeah, whatever. Oh, taking a quick break here, viewers. We will be back in just a few minutes with round 4. Alrighty, we're back here with round 4. We got 2 people we've already seen tonight. Eric on Blue-White Days Undoing Control and Will on Amulet Titan.
And back on the tables up front, we did see Will take down a similar blue-white control deck last round, so we'll see if he can do it again this round.
Yeah. I wonder if Eric not being on the Stoneblade juke will make a difference. I don't know if I think I would bring it in.
I mean, not having an ending here to kill the amulet is already off to a not so great start, but Eric could have a counterspell. Will might not have Cavern.
Yeah.
By a little time here.
Yeah. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I noticed last round his opponent that was on the Stoneblade juke, Steven, did actually definitely bring it in because I definitely saw a Cauldron complete in play at the end there when Steven died.
Yeah. So it might not have helped that much.
No.
This is a second amulet? Maybe Expedition Map?
I mean, Eric was on the play, it looks like. So, worst possible situation for Will here if we're just trying to stick a second amulet.
Yeah.
Yep, and
Okay.
there's the counterspell out of Eric, which means Will be likely casting no other. Well, I guess we could still graze it.
You could go land Expedition Map or land another
Land Explorer, yeah. We're not gonna get to Azusa here. Yeah,
Not quite.
no. Looks like
Could.
maybe gonna explore. We have mana. No, we have no mana floating. Chain explores together.
Yeah, you could. Will is on the Explorer version. I know we've seen Sakura Tribe Elder and a few builds of Amulet recently.
Yeah.
Especially this last weekend. There were
Yeah.
a few lists.
There was a list from the NRG, and then also our good friend Nick Peterson.
Yep.
Was switched to that build with the 3 Hydrate Crisis out of the sideboard.
Oh yeah.
So Nick or Will and I were,
He might have been on one main board as well.
oh wow. Will and I were talking about that. I think earlier on his when he was back here talking with me. So
Oh yeah.
he's only on 1 Hydrate Crisis in the sideboard, but sometimes it does the thing it needs to do.
Yeah, I don't think there's too much of a reason to play more than 2 of them, unless you're playing more than one main deck. But I mean, the card's just generically strong in most matchups. So
Gain some amount, draw some amount.
Flying Trampler,
Also that.
like they can be bigger than Murktide relatively easily.
Yeah, when in your big mana deck, yeah.
Yeah.
Turns out.
Has a
No.
cast trigger.
It has a cast trigger. Who cares if they counter your
Counter spells hate them.
Yeah. Summary Dismissal loves them.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Good thing nobody plays that card.
Oh, dude.
Most people don't even know what that card does.
Speaking of things that stifle stuff,
Yeah.
you know what I got by in my 4-color match in round 4 on Saturday?
Hmm.
Tail's End.
Wow.
Yeah.
Out of 4 color?
Yes.
Why?
Then it does the thing.
Was it main deck?
Yeah. No, it was sideboard.
Wow.
Yes.
I
He
can
told me why.
understand-
He told me why, and I forget why it was. But yeah, I don't remember if it was a trigger on. I think it might have been a Yorian entering
It's,
play.
like, honestly not that bad.
Maybe a Solitude.
In the mirror match, I could see that being pretty strong.
Yeah, because you just randomly counter an Omnath
Yeah.
trigger and like make
But
them
you
have
counter
to.
Omnath.
Oh, also you counter Omnath. Yeah, but if it's already come down, you can counter an Omnath trigger.
This is true.
Yes.
So it's not dead if the game is late.
yes,
Counters Yorion.
counters Yorion.
Is it legendary spell?
It's legendary spell.
So
Counters Planeswalkers.
Is that the tech?
Yeah, it seems pretty good actually.
For the mirror specifically, it seems pretty strong.
Yeah, I don't think he ended up. I know I didn't see him listed on top 8. So
Yeah.
I don't know how well he did. I didn't take a gander at the standings at the end of the day, or I haven't seen nobody shared a link to him on on Goldfish. I'm sure I could pull it up and find him, but because I remember his name.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. We can see.
but yeah, maybe I'll take a gander at that. But yeah, looks like Eric's just resolved a Narset here, and I mean, there's no reason to not take it down when your opponent's got nothing on board, right?
Yeah, I mean, I don't really like Narset in this matchup because it's not going to find Solitude.
I agree. And I think Eric does too, given that he pitched one to the subtlety.
Yeah, it's kind of dead, and Will's not going to be drawing that many cards game 1. Obviously, Explorer is
Yeah.
going to hit a little bit, but I mean, even still, just playing Explorer to ramp on the early turns is
Yeah,
Good
and,
enough, usually.
Will has already fired off his 2 explorers. I think Eric just might have played it because he didn't have anything better to do.
I mean, maybe he needed a white card for Solitude, which Narset could fund.
Yes. And we know he has a bounce land in hand, and that double amulet that he's got there means that we will be seeing this Titan if he wants.
Yeah,
There is the possibility of Salty getting in the way, of course, but Eric did already use one of those.
Yeah, we're not certain on how many he's actually playing.
I think he told me it was 3.
That's a lot.
That's how many Stevens on.
Okay.
I could be wrong about that though. So. But based on the conversation we were having, it seemed to indicate that his list was fairly similar main board, other than the green splash to the list that was in the top 8. Steve was playing the list from the top 8 this weekend.
Yeah. George is his first name. I don't remember.
Yeah.
Last name.
Eric also attempted to pronounce it, and
yeah,
I don't remember what he said it was.
Yeah, I do. I think he said it correctly.
I think so.
Kowalski.
No, it's not Will's last name. Some other dudes.
So Titan is in play. We're about to give it haste. Will opting to not go for the value line and just get the Stronghold plus Boros Garrison.
I mean,
This is the lethal line.
yeah, going for the kill him
Yeah.
line, right? The taking the get him dead option.
It's actually not the lethal line because Will doesn't have enough lands in play.
I mean, you're gonna hit him for 20, right?
No. Delicates aren't going to trigger.
You're gonna hit him for 20 with a Titan with double strike.
Oh, you have 2 amulets. Oh, that is good enough. Yeah. I was thinking the Dryad line, but no, yeah.
No, you're gonna hit him for 20.
Yeah, but he is dead if he does not have salt.
Like 20 big T.
But here is salted.
Ah, yes.
So,
And there's a Wandering Emperor? All right, Eric's definitely not on this.
probably has
With the same deck as Steven.
to get another Titan here as we see him go for this line.
I hope so. But not gonna be doing it next turn because we have a pact we gotta pay for.
Yep.
So
He could just barely pay for it too.
yeah.
If Eric goes land Cryptic Command, that game is over.
I don't think Eric's playing Cryptic Command in this economy, but
I mean, I've seen Steven play some pretty weird cards, and
yeah, but this
it's a similar list.
yeah, sure. But Steven's not even on Cryptic Commands.
I sure hope not. Wow, did he whiff?
I think he whiffed. What was I looking up? I was looking up that dude's name.
I need to take care of one of the amulets, still have Counterspell up. Will's gonna be tapped up this turn. Could still play something off of a bounce land. Maybe another Dryad.
Yeah. Well, the 1 mana is floating in the main phase, so we I guess we have to double land drop off Dryad, right?
It's floating in the upkeep, you mean?
Yeah, floating in the upkeep. Did I say draw step?
Yes.
Okay.
Or main phase, I think you said.
No, I said whatever.
We'll find out
Who cares?
when this gets uploaded to YouTube,
We'll find out.
and we will clip it.
Yep. Oh yeah, I know you will. That's not as funny as 2 stomps this time or
No.
a grass.
Those just you gotta let it happen naturally.
Do you know how to pull up tournament reports on Goldfish?
I would probably just go through melee and then go
Oh.
to standings
Well,
because it might not be. It should be.
I mean, they have the legacy up on one already because somebody posted a link to the legacy.
Just
in the
go to the decks
Under deck?
and then click on the first one
Regular decks metagame?
and then just scroll on mobile. It's gonna take a while to scroll. But go to modern
Modern.
and then scroll till it's not decks anymore. And then it should appear here.
Recent decks. Hey, look at that. Card monster. RCQ.
There it is.
Energy. There we go. I do not want. Oh, well. All right. At least it's my bank advertising too. Okay. So
You could probably-
George. Jabbour.
Jabur.
Jabbour. There we go. Dude, I can find out what I ranked. I don't think it was good. Or I can find. No, I was gonna find out what the guy I played ranked. He's 12.
Oh wow.
So the first guy I lost to ended up 12. He was on the Delirium build just like you, but he had Tails Ends in the sideboard.
That's kind of cool.
4 Ice Fang, 1 Endurance, 4 Arnett, 4 Solitude, 1 Emrakul the Promised End in the main deck. 'Cause
4
like I said, the
Heats,
Delirium.
4 Traverse. I like the list a lot.
Yeah, 4 Ball.
Rust down as well.
2 main deck dress down. I never saw the dress downs at all. So. Yeah, he was
One Tails End.
wow. I got by the one
You
tail.
did. Well, this is cool though.
Fucking wrecked.
Good God.
No Besagers. Oh no, one but 3 Besagers across the whole deck. Wow.
Yeah, this looks pretty similar to Andrew Ellenbogen's list.
Okay. All right, now time to find out where I rank. With my 4-3 drop. Probably way down here. Oh. Hold on.
So it looks like
Oh, hey, 97th. Not even off the first page.
not even bad.
Yeah.
Golgari Elves.
Got beat out by
96.
Golgari Elves. All right. Fine. And I think also a dude I beat on who was on Esper Reanimator.
Mono blue Yawgmoth with white red mana symbols in 92nd. Whoa. It's just burned.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
People just
It's just burned.
people just memeing
It's-
with their deck with their deck labels.
Oh yeah.
I consider doing that, but I have a strong affinity for actually telling the people what I'm doing.
It's just easier to do that. Yeah, it's a lot more clear.
Yeah. So this is the Esper Reanimator guy I played against? I think this is the Esper Reanimator guy I played against. Wild. Yeah.
So here's another Titan for Will.
Oh yeah, we should probably go back to talking about the actual match that's going on
Maybe
instead of the energy. I don't know.
that's relevant information.
Yeah.
So I think we'll see Will go for the value plan here. Just get another T West. Or no, we're still gonna go for haste. Oh, I think Eric might just have one card in hand, so that
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe line there.
yeah.
Eric's missed several land drops, hasn't done a whole lot much. Oh, I guess he played a Narset and then didn't activate it? Interesting.
That might be the second Narset.
Still reactivate it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you want to find a Solitude.
Yeah.
I might already have a white card.
Just looking for the Solitude.
Yeah.
That's fair.
And he's not playing Opt or anything, so it's not like you can even argue that.
Yeah. No, no, yeah.
and
100%.
Will is just going to kill him with the Dryad triggers. And we're going to go on to game 2, which I think gets a little bit better for Eric, although he is already main decking Subtleties.
Do you want to keep the chalices in the main deck?
I think 1 is fine.
Okay.
I think if you draw any more than 1 when you're putting Chalice on 0 in this matchup, is too many.
Okay.
I think you can buy a couple turns, which is usually all you need, is blue-white of them not playing Titan when they have mana for it. In the mid to late game, because they can just find a Titan to get another Titan, but they can't if you have Chalice on 0, because it'll counter the Summoner's Pact. So that incentivizes them to get something like a Besage with the bounce land, to be able to actually kill the Chalice.
All right.
Yeah.
Will ended up at 42nd.
10 away.
5 below the other Will K.
Oh,
37th.
nice.
Who he then beat on Sunday.
Yeah.
Proving he is the better Will K.
I think he beat him on Saturday.
No,
I don't think they played on Sunday.
I thought they played on Sunday.
I don't think so.
I thought that was when he beat him.
No, he beat him on when he was on Hammer.
I thought he also played him on Sunday.
We could go ask him.
I'm gonna go ask him. Oh wait, no, he's in our feature match. I'm not gonna ask him. Oh no, they're sideboarding.
Yeah.
Turns out you were correct. Did Will end up being the highest ranked among us? I think he did, right?
Technically Javier went 6-3, so he's somewhere up there.
Oh, yeah. I don't see him at all.
I thought he went X3.
Oh yeah, there he is. 52nd. Below Will.
Oh, okay. Oh, Will was also X3.
Yeah, against better breakers.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
this man's name is in all caps.
Greg Pino. Wow, what a name. I wonder if it's legally all caps. Is it Goblins?
32nd place. Is it Goblins?
Is it?
We're about to find out.
It's probably Murktide.
Yep.
No, there are no goblins in that.
There are no goblins in this deck.
He's playing one of Snapcaster Mage.
Yeah, one of Dragon Rage Channeler also. Spell Snare.
Bruh.
I mean, sure, man. All right.
Some interesting lists out of the last weekend.
The guy that beat me in round 5, his deck name is labeled as 5-color Yawgmoth. I don't think I saw any non-green or non-green or black cards in his deck. Although Goldfish has him as having also red cards. I assume there was probably something red in the sideboard or something like that.
Probably Magus.
Yeah.
8 rack.
In 65th. 4 colors.
It might be 8 rack. Nope, it's living. Just a bunch of meme lords this weekend.
Mono green Titan. Does it normally show up as mono green?
Where does it say mono green?
It just says 1 green pip.
Oh, the second place.
Yeah. I clicked on the wrong deck just then.
Yeah, I mean the one.
If he's not, if you're not on the Hydra Graces,
Pretty sure he's on Inferno Titan.
not this list.
Is he not?
And you got Emrakul.
Oh,
Is
really?
Emrakul in there?
Oh, this is actually
It's
just
not including Dismember.
Oh, that's
I guess of the pips. Yeah, I guess
Maybe
because
so.
the pips are Phyrexian, it just ignores it.
weird.
Yeah. All right. Goldfish is strange. But yeah, Amulet Titan. Who knew? No, the 6th place I think is the one you were thinking about.
Yeah.
That had yep. There's the 2
Very
Inferno
nice, yeah.
Titans. 6th place was the one with the 2 Hydra Graces, 2 Inferno Titans.
Wow. Inferno Titan. Who would have thought? All right, our match is starting. It looks like.
Dang.
So Will finding a cavern. I think he's on 4 main deck. That's huge for these matchups.
It's a lot of caverns.
It's just the standard, honestly. I
Really?
I think
Just
a lot of people are
counter
playing. Yeah, a lot of people are playing 3 or 4
Okay.
main deck. Murktid's a pretty bad matchup, I honestly think, and having the caverns just makes it so much better.
That makes sense. The very brief window of time where I played Titan, there was 2. One in the sideboard and one in the main deck.
Yep.
And by very
It's like-
brief, I mean I think I played it for 1 week
It was like that for a long time.
and did very bad thing. I think I played it for like the only week it was bad in the last like 12 months.
Yeah, it definitely has those weeks, or sometimes even months. Terry's gonna bounce Saga. Yeah, that's pretty big here.
Yeah. You know what my favorite thing to do with Saga is?
March it.
March it. Yep. I got to do that this weekend. Turn
Yeah.
1, March a Saga.
Oh, it's the best feeling.
Oh yeah. My I lost game 1 in round 1 against Azorius against Blue White Urza Affinity is what my opponent told me his deck was.
Okay.
And game 2 I played Plains Go, and then my opponent put a Saga into play, and I was about to tap to play a spell, and I was like, hold up, wait a minute. In response to that Saga ETB trigger,
You can't make mana.
no mana for you.
Yeah.
And I was just like, I'm so excited. I've never gotten to do this yet.
Especially in that format.
Thank you for being my first.
Yeah.
And he was just like, I mean, I am kind of excited for you that you got to do that, but also this sucks.
But also, I cannot play the game.
Yeah. He's like, Memnite go. Or no, he was like, oh yeah, no, he was like Memnite go. And I'm just like, all right. And then the next turn,
Probably a Springleaf Drum hiding out there.
the next turn he played a Springleaf Drum. Yeah. And then I put a Kataki in play, and he was sad.
Why do you do this to people, Breaker?
I don't know. Dude, I was running 3 main deck Kataki when Astrolabe was legal.
Oh, yeah.
Just because, I think Rishon importing people is funny.
Yeah. Forcibly Russian imported. I mean, you don't have to.
No, you don't have to pay, but then your mana's shit.
Yeah.
And I'm going to blow up your other lands. So,
Yeah.
What do I care if you don't pay? And if you do, you ported
They're
yourself.
the ones playing all the artifacts.
Yeah, why are you playing so many?
You just played a goofy little spirit from Coming
No,
Goblins.
I'm just playing a shitty little 2-1.
Doesn't even fly, I don't think.
No, it doesn't. All of the text on that card is half of an energy flux.
Yeah.
God, could you imagine if that card wasn't legendary?
Then you wouldn't be able to pay 1 for a Ganjo.
I would
2 for a Gunter. That's
I would-
3.
I would be okay with that because then I would have 2 2-1s in play, and your artifacts would cost 2.
Then you would Omega get got by Fury. But I don't know what artifact decks play Fury.
Yeah, me either. I would just put hammer in the dirt harder. My hammer matchup's already really good.
Yeah.
Both of the hammer players I 2-0'd. And I think one of them I didn't draw any Katakis.
Yeah.
I just chaliced him, and he was like, "Yeah, Chalice and Urza Saga, and Chalice and Magus of the Moon on turn 2, pretty good." Like I think I literally played Chalice on 1 and then cast, or I played Chalice on 1 turn 3, but put Magus in play on turn 2, and he was just like, "Oh, yep."
Game's over.
Turns out, Ragavan lets you do that. And I'm like, "Yep, yeah, I do."
Yeah, dude.
Oh no, I cut the Ragavans. So it was Chalice on 1 on turn 2 into Magus on 3, and he was like, "Yep."
It's a pretty good sequence.
Turns out that is pretty good. I'm like, "Yep." Turns out,
Could be another fast game here.
yeah.
If Eric is getting the Solitude jump check, and looks like he's got it.
Pitching the
Yeah.
verdict. Oof.
And
Well,
it's
all
one
right.
of 2 things.
All right.
Second verdict in his hand.
Hey, it's less bad. You know why it's less bad? Because they don't have Field of Ruin or Field of the Dead anymore.
I mean, yeah, that's good for a number of reasons.
Yes.
Don't have Field of the Dead.
Yes, that card is cracked. Didn't they like fix Field of the Dead on Arena?
They fixed everything on Arena. They made Unholy Heap deal 5 damage like it should.
I would look up what it does, but Scryfall is down. Yeah. I was talking with our table manager about that.
More like Cryfall.
God damn it! I did not see this coming.
It's just Scry. People have been making Crimea River decks for as long as that format's been, but as long as that mechanic, yeah. Could not think of that M word. Will's got plenty of cards in hand too. A lot of gas here. And if this Azusa sticks around, we might be able to make a pretty large Hydroid Crisis.
Yeah.
At least a couple cards.
Yeah. Oh.
Looks like we're thinking about the Saga trigger on the stack. If we're going to be making a colorless off of the Saga, or if we're going to be making a 2/2 construct 3/3 after the ability resolves.
After the fetch or after the Saga tutor result.
It should be getting Expedition back in. Maybe Will wants another annual.
Oh, there it is. Found it. Sorry about that. My water bottle attempted to commit murder.
Yeah, it almost succeeded.
Yeah, it kind of felt like that. Dropped the cap on the ground and it tried to kill me.
Yeah. There is the map.
Looks like Eric mind twisted Will.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not good.
No.
Especially when Will's lands are
Bad.
combo lands.
Bad.
Not mana producing lands.
Yeah. It looks like Eric might have even removed the token.
From Dress Down.
Oh yeah, there's a dress down in play. I missed that. Looks like yeah, now Will's gonna get that Narset out of here.
A little too late for that. Pretty sure Eric can run away with this game now.
Yeah. generally in Legacy when the control deck resolves, the Narset days and doing huge, unless you're in an overwhelming board position, you just kind of scoop it up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not good.
Not particularly. There are times on Aidcast, if Narset dies the next turn, and you have a bunch of baubles in play, I could see there being a chance.
Hey, looks like Scryfall's back.
Gonna scoop it up though.
Scryfall's back, and our manager is saying we should behold the multiverses. Now we have the multiverse Scryfall available to us. Now I can tell you what language Dovin's veto is Dovin's ban.
Let's take a look.
That's like the only thing that I was waiting for. What was that other thing I was going to look up on Scryfall that I just forgot about? Whatever. Who cares?
Wow, yeah, that was
more recent, and I remember the Dovin's veto thing.
Well, the Dovin's veto is more important, obviously. That's why I
much
remember.
much more important. All right, so Dovin's veto in I think it's French. Hopefully they have art. Oh, that's just veto of Dovin. German, Dovin's veto.
Nice. Russian?
No, because it uses the Latin alphabet. Maybe it's Italian. Nope, also vetoed to Dovin. Huh. Maybe it was a translation that was incorrect. Because the rest of these are not going to be using the Russian or the English alphabet, the Latin alphabet. Oh, turns out I can just click on that and see all of them at once.
I did not know that.
Me either. Yeah, so turns out I'm full of shit.
Nice.
Cool.
You should take care of that. We have a bathroom here. Turns out.
It's a good thing that I'm the one that finds all of these puns so funny.
Oh, most people would not.
No.
I just don't make them.
Yeah,
I think of them like, wow, that's cringe. But for you, I just don't even think about it.
Yeah. I don't know, man. What can I say? I just like laughing at things.
Yeah. Some goofy shit.
Yeah. My water bottle didn't try to kill me this time. It's great. Yeah, that's honestly. James had to step away for a moment. Looks like our players are in the process of resolving mulligans. Looks like Will might be going down to 6 here. It would appear he has found an acceptable 6. He's on his lair of the Hydra, the Will Kowalczyk special. And Arboreal Grazer's a Simic Growth Chamber into play. Picking up that lair. Eric leading on what I assume is a fetch land. Cannot tell. Got that layer back into play, and there's a Dryad into a Saga. Will attacks to send a message. Yep, I was right. Eric with his Old Border Misty Rainforest. Fetching to get the Spar's headquarters into play, tapped. Gets to start repping that Oseju Who Endures mana. Starting on turn 2. And looks like I see a dress down over there in Eric's hand. All of the Storm Giants, both players playing their AFR creature land. Those things are pretty cool. Den of the Bugbear being an infinite mana outlet, pretty sick. Lair of the Hydra, also an infinite mana outlet, although less consistent of a kill. More akin to Raging Ravine's infinite mana outlet, where it only kills if your opponent doesn't have a block. And then you got Hall of the Storm Giant, which is just a pain in the butt to get rid of. And the black and the white one are kind of bad. Although at least the black one does see play in Pioneer to my knowledge, so. Will making 2 more land drops and just throwing a Titan out there. Nope, no Cavernous Souls on this one.
Will it be hit by the 2 blue
Yep.
Counterspell.
There's that counterspell. And also, I think I saw a dress down in Eric's hand.
Oh, okay.
So could be Will opting to not send a message this time with the Arboreal Grazer, just attacking with the actual threat of the two power Dryad. I think Eric just played another fetch land there.
Scalding Tarn?
It looks like a Scalding Tarn. Yeah.
Lair the Hydra
That was the
actually matter here.
yeah, that was the first land Will led on
Okay.
this game. So yeah, he went Lair of the Hydra, Arboreal Grazer, Simic Growth Chamber, then replayed the Lair of the Hydra, played a Dryad, and got this Saga that's clearing now into play, all on turn 2. So
And we got an expedition map to find a Cavernous Holes.
yeah, or another Saga, honestly.
I think getting another Saga is pretty risky. I'm kind of surprised the Saga even made it this far.
Okay. I mean, I don't think Eric's on marches though. I could be wrong.
He just dress down too,
Sure. And we do know Eric has a dress down in his hand,
but Will does not.
but Will does not. So
But he can imagine.
yes, he can only imagine.
Yep.
Until he finds out for certain,
And then it is too late.
and then it is too late. Looks like Eric's fetching basic island here. I wonder. We definitely have enough mana to just fire off a dress down. I wonder if we're gonna gain control of the Arboreal Grazer with an Archmage. Oh no, we're gonna counter and explore. Okay, that's what was going on. What's going on? I missed the explore being on the stack there.
Yeah, I did too. I think you might as well use the Force Negation while it has a valid target. There might not be another one for the rest of the game. So
Yeah.
Nick was saying that if you are on Soccer Tri-Builder, you don't get got by things like Force Negation or Counterspell sometimes because Steve is a creature that you can just put on Cavernous Holes. And then
Oh yeah.
things like this do not happen.
I don't know I guess Steve is the guaranteed land drop. I think sometimes the extra draw out of explore potentially a little more powerful, but
I think so. I think there's more lines that open up with the Explorer. But it is pretty good to be able to fetch up a blue mana sometimes with Steve, especially if you're on Hydroid Crisis.
I mean I think that's specifically the case is you generally see the Steves alongside the multiple Hydroid Crisis with the one in the main deck and the therefore the island as well. So
Right.
And Eric firing off the cryptic command, god damn it. Supreme Verdict. There we go. Different 4-mana blue card.
Was going to get him for 3, though. Not nothing.
Oh yeah, 3. Yes, 3. Yes, 3. I forgot about the
Bounce land.
bounce land. Yep.
And it's also only 1 green to activate
yeah.
the Lair of the Hydra.
You can't choose 0 though.
You
It
cannot,
does prevent you from blowing up your own land on accident
which is interesting.
or on Emrakul. I like it.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see a situation. Okay, so if the card saw play in Legacy, not being able to kill it for a green, I would have get.
Yeah.
Not being relevant would be a problem. But it doesn't see play in Legacy, so I don't think it's a big deal. If it did, that would be a big deal because price of progress.
Right.
So.
Wow, yeah, that could matter.
Yeah.
Because it could kill itself then.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
It feels like a moto, or not a moto, an arena thing. Because like in paper,
On Arena, they will ask you with things like that. They will ask you if you're sure you want to choose 0.
wow, will it really?
Yes.
That is a baby game.
Anytime on Arena you are making a decision that they have like a class of decisions that are I mean like on Moto, whenever you target your own thing or like sack a thing to its own trigger or to its own ability, it asks you, are you sure? It does the same thing on Arena just for a wider class of stuff.
I guess it does like the mana loss thing too.
Yep.
If you're going to change phases, so okay.
So I mean Moto has some degree of training wheels. Arena has more.
Which makes sense. I
yeah.
mean, Arena is designed like when a new customer comes into the store,
Yes.
I recommend them Arena because
Yeah.
it's a great way to learn the game.
Yeah.
And is much better than the tools that I used to learn the game, which were playing the old Duels of the Planeswalkers games.
Oh, I used people.
Yeah.
That was worse.
Depending on who you're playing with, yeah.
Those people not so great. Then
It can be fun. You learn the game together, you know.
sure.
But then it could also be bad because you're learning the game together with people that don't know how to play the game.
They already knew how to play the game, just not very well.
That is about the same thing.
It took me 2 years of playing the game to get better than most of them at knowing the rules, and one of them still has about that same level of rules knowledge, despite playing Magic with me for 6 years, 8 years, 8
Yeah.
years.
That'll happen. I mean, it's just interest level, you know. Some people want more out of a game, or
Out of our group of friends, he was the one who spent the second most on Magic.
sure.
And the only reason he did that was because I kept building decks that were kicking his ass.
Oh, and he wanted to win.
He was trying to win.
Maybe he should learn the rules.
Yeah, that was what I said. Of course, I did kind of force myself to learn the rules. The way I went about doing that was back in my exclusively Commander days. I built a blue-red Chaos deck.
Oh,
So if you want to learn how the intricacies of how everything in Magic works, Chaos deck is definitely the way to go.
oh, so the Visager here is actually going to come up taking out the layer of the Hydra.
Hot.
Saving Erica a little bit of life.
Yeah, look at that. It's still a land. X can't be 0. Big deal.
Zero. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big deal for the legacy players.
You know what can choose 0? Mirror Entity.
Yeah.
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 Yeah, if somebody emeralds you and you have a mirror entity in play, you don't have a mirror entity in play anymore. Or any other creatures for that matter. I mean, all of your creatures have all creature types when they die, so that's nice.
That's something, yeah.
Yeah. Probably not relevant, but it's something.
Sure.
Well, up to 26. Not super relevant for the Mind Twister handle.
Does not matter.
No.
His life total is irrelevant as long as it's not 0.
Also, it's still less than 4 hits from that Hall of the Storm Giants Eric played on turn 2.
Okay, there's a hall. Okay.
Yes.
Sure. I guess it could matter.
I mean, it's a 7/7, 4 hits.
That's, yeah.
Yeah, 4-turn clocks are 4-turn clocks,
Yeah.
man.
Back up Narsa.
That thing ain't no slouch.
It is not. And here's Days Undoing.
Yeah,
Wow, that's
enough to get
that
the
combo is
match.
very good.
Oh no, not the match. Okay, well, it's not
Very
picking up
good
his
against
lands.
this
Yes.
Amulet Titan deck because
Yeah.
Amulet cannot really interact
No.
anymore. It is not a Pact of Negation deck
Yeah.
any longer.
Nope. Yeah. When did that stop being a thing? I just kind of didn't notice.
I think just the general power level of cards increased, and you can't effectively like
You're not
counter one spell.
Yeah, you're not as all in on the like make the Titan and immediately kill them thing anymore either. So like you're not concerned about that one thing happening.
Right. Because like your opponent could have 2 Solitudes, and then you just lose the game.
Or yeah,
You counter one of them, and then
or just 2 mana and a Solitude.
I mean, yeah, that's also true.
2 blue and a Solitude, or 2 blue and a Subtlety,
Right.
or a Solitude and a Subtlety.
There are many things.
No, yeah,
you
there's a
could
lot of
pick up.
things.
Honestly, the biggest thing was like when Eldrazi's had all his dust. You could just Pact of Negation that, and then you would not lose.
Yeah.
So you just untap and kill him.
Yeah.
Because all his dust was a great answer they had.
Yeah.
To Amulet Titan, making a bunch of zombies and stuff.
Yeah.
But it was around that time when the deck started shifting away from
Packing again.
Pact of Negation, and you got actual sideboard cards.
Cool. We'll just jam in this Titan that he got Subtlety back on top of his deck. Eric's saying it solves. There are notably no amulets in play.
Yeah, so this is just gonna find another Titan, most likely.
Yeah. Gonna get
Or a
us
cavern.
gonna get us some sort of it looks like he already has a cavern in play.
Does he? Oh, he does. He does. It's
Yep.
hiding.
Yep, it's the so maybe another cavern, but I'm thinking probably bounce land Tolarian Rust.
Yeah. I like that too.
Yeah. So I mean, despite the fact that getting Mind Twisted and your opponent gassing back up to 7, not the best thing. Titan's clawing back in here pretty well, I think.
I mean, he hit the Titan.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah.
It's not like last game where Will didn't have any mana, so Will just has to find the last part of the equation.
Yeah. I'm trying to think if we have a
He gets Saga Layer.
Saga Layer. Interesting. I was trying to think if there was like a consideration here to. I guess it kind of telegraphs what we're doing. Wow.
March for
March for 6. Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess we're at that point in the mana at this point. Why not? If you can do it, you get to do it. Yeah, I mean, given that happening, I definitely like the line Will has chosen to take here. But if that wasn't going to happen, I think, depending on the context of our hand, there might have been a consideration to trying to get what?
Eric has another March
Oof.
to take out the second chase. I think he locked this game up.
Yeah, I think this might be. I think we might be seeing the end of this one here. I don't.
Blue White is typically not strong enough to beat Titan, but the Days Undoing package actually turns the corner.
Turns out sometimes things are transferable from Legacy into Modern.
Yeah.
Who knew?
You could play that in Pioneer as well.
Oh shit! Yeah, that is Pioneer legal, huh?
Yeah.
All right. Maybe I might start playing Pioneer. I don't think it's good, but
The blue-red deck was playing it. Akino played it for a little bit.
oh really? Okay.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's interesting.
Back when Days Undoings were like $35.
Yeah, I think they're still up though, honestly.
I think they came back down to like 12.
Oh, wow, really? Might be time to
Yeah.
scoop some of those up.
We were talking about it on the when we went up to Zach's lake house last weekend. Makino was like, "Yeah, they went way down again." Get nerd.
Nice.
Days Undoing. It is the Days Undoing. The days possessive of undoing. They're $5. And immediately, James and I both pull out TCG Player.
Yep.
In our local game store.
I mean, we do not have them.
I know. Oh, I should clear my cart. I have a bunch of cards in my cart.
I've done that before. Gotten all the way to checkout, and I'm like, why is my total $300?
A bunch of it just got shipped. Oh, just almost all of it just got shifted out of my cart. I don't need.
Wow, these foils! Look at these foil prices.
Yeah, the foils are $50.
Card only has one printing, I guess.
I didn't.
That'll happen.
Yeah, I didn't mention the foil prices for a reason.
Yeah. How many of this card do you actually play? I'm not buying a playset of them.
I mean, it's $20 for a playset. Why not?
Yeah. That's a sound argument. Not even $20.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like you're able to. There's also the list if you don't care about that. I do. I very much care.
Yes.
I ordered Bridge from. So I ordered an original Magus of the Moon for the event to pick up from the Energy. To pick up from Energy at the event this weekend. So I'd have matching Maguses. And I also at the same time ordered an original Bridge from Below.
Oh, okay.
And they gave me a list Bridge from Below, but I didn't notice until Sunday.
Oh God.
And I went to.
It's so subtle.
But I still had the paper, like the receipt.
Oh sure.
And I went up to the dude and I was like, I don't know if this. I picked this up yesterday. And I don't expect you guys will do anything about it because I could not. I understand if you don't, but like, I was supposed to get an original Bridge from Below, and you guys gave me a list one. And you was just like, yeah, gave me the card.
Cool.
I was like, oh, okay, neat.
I didn't think I'd get this far.
I was like, yeah. I was like, I was expecting to get turned down. I'm not gonna take this. Not gonna take this W. We're not gonna pass up this W. I mean,
yeah.
Where's near mints? What are near mints at? Dude, $450? Hell yeah. Just gotta find $550 if I want to buy some from one seller.
Yeah, they go up a little bit for near mint if you're trying to get the full play set.
Yeah, I guess
There was one more that if you just don't change the condition, that was selling more than 4, I believe.
Bunch of LPs that are more expensive than. I might just order them across a bunch of different places.
Oh, so Eric's gonna really just landslide over here with now Ashiok and Jace the Mind Sculptor in play, pretty much locking out all of Will's outs here. Lair of the Hydra in the graveyard as well. Not going to sneak in for a lethal attack, as Eric is at 8 and could die to something like that. But I think we were past the point of Lair of the Hydra being able to get in, since Eric has, I believe, 5 cards with a Jace that's going to be ticking up every turn.
Whatever. I'll just pay $550. That's fine. $22. I don't care. Extra $2.
Yeah.
Probably would have paid that in shipping from most places.
I mean, you might have paid that for one if you bought, if you needed the Days Undoing and they were that price. Like that's who needs
No, Akino's
that card.
Yeah, they were going for 35s a couple months ago. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I definitely got rid of one that I had back when like Magic Origins had just come out for like $40.
I don't know if I got mine for 40, but I definitely got rid of mine for way more than I paid for.
I'm like 100% sure that I traded that and like 2 or 3 other cards that were in standard at the time for a Gideon ally of Zendikar and an Ugin.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I think it was like that and like 2 other cards for Gideon of ally of Zendikar, and it's pretty good.
Nice. Yeah.
Actually, I think Gideon Allies and Zendikar was one of the cards I was trading away now that I think about it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, but I got an Ugin.
Still good value. Yeah.
Yeah.
The Ugin's where.
Yep.
Where you're plussing.
Yep. Well, not anymore, but.
Yeah, the core set reprint.
Yep.
Yeah.
But I think I also got rid of it again when they were like $70 or $80. So like, and I think
it's pricey.
I think the one I own 2 Ugins now. Actually, I think I'm gonna get rid of the second one. But the one Ugin I own is the that I definitely own is the Mythic Edition one that I bought specifically, and probably never going to get rid of. So I really don't care what the price is at right now. So I'm not in immediate danger of selling out. So its current price relative to what I bought it at is irrelevant.
Yeah.
Although I'm pretty sure it's gone down. I know the Jace is gone down.
Base ticking up to 9 here.
Yikes. Two
Almost
more
a
turns.
death sentence, yeah.
Yeah, 2 more turns.
Will not being allowed to search his library either.
Yeah. One time against a Titan deck, I ticked up. So from 3 all the way up to 12, because in the process, I took a hit from a Simian Spirit Guide and then also bounced the Simian Spirit Guide. So actually up to 15. Because I forgot to counter the Simian Spirit Guide on the way down.
Oh,
It
no.
was against a Titan deck that had, it was Titan Shift.
Sure.
They had 5 mountains in play. So I was dead to a mountain or anything that could put a mountain in play.
Right.
And I never bottomed a single card the entire time.
Wow. It was just naturally that bad.
There was never a mountain except for the one Search for Tomorrow that they immediately hardcast, and I Dovin's vetoed it.
Nice. No interaction.
Yeah, they were top decking the whole time. They was like, all right, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, nope, stop it. I think I like left like 3 forests and a Beseju, or not Beseju, like 3 forests and a Bajuka bog on top, and they were just like, and then the one Simian Spirit Guide that I forgot to counter, so it got to hit my, and then forgot to remove, so it got to hit my Jace. Like I even misplayed it to give them extra time, and still never bottomed the card and won the game. Yeah. Well, I mean, it was Sometimes you just forget about the gray ogres. Yeah, sometimes a gray ogre do just get there.
Good old gray ogres.
Wasn't concerned about the. Oh, I think he breached it in too. So it wasn't even like he cast it. He breached it into play, and I let the breach resolve,
Right.
and then just didn't have an instant speed removal spell.
Oh, okay.
And I was like, oh, yep, okay. I guess Jace is taking.
Yeah, no,
two.
That makes sense because you breach it in, it gains haste.
Yeah.
You still get it at the end of turn.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a line.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's a good line.
Nope.
Not as good as ticking Jace up to 12 and
13.
winning the game. 13. Yeah.
13. Yeah. The fact that Jace can, in theoretically, could kill a player and then still be around
Do it again.
and do it again. I would love to do that, to double Jace ult someone
Yeah.
in a game.
You just like compliment somehow.
No, like they have 7 cards in hand.
Oh, and you just
But like, all right, if I'm Jace ulting you and you have 7 cards in hand,
better be some damn good cards.
why have you not just like what is going on in this game?
Us?
Guess. Sure. That's fair.
That's not impossible. Well, Jace is at 13, so it is looking impossible.
Well, I mean, this is impossible. But
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yes.
This has been bad.
yeah. I think Eric's kind of had this for like 10 minutes, and Will's just
But Jason-
obstinately refusing to concede. Yeah, and looks like there we go. Jace just fired off his thing. What is he playing? Oops, no, he just got Jace ulted. Refuses to concede.
there's two-
I mean, we have 60 seconds left in the round. There's like you might as well play it out. There we go.
Blue-white control taking down the local here today.
Yeah,
Pretty convincing from the matches we got to see.
yeah. The deck's definitely cool.
Yeah.
I might sleeve up blue white control again. I mean, I don't get to sleeve up fucking search for his content, which is what I really want to do when I'm playing blue white control.
Right.
But,
But I
you
mean,
know,
you get to Days of doing people, which looks really strong.
yeah, notice that's like kind of a search for his content. Kinda.
That's interesting. I don't really like Narset like as a card in Modern, but I mean, I guess if you're in Days of
I mean, I think it's definitely had days where where it's been better.
well, it's good against Murktide.
But yeah, also it's pretty good against Murktide.
Game 1, you're probably never going to lose to Murktide.
Yeah, I mean, I think Eric played Tide 1 round and he said it was just boop, go away.
They have iteration, but like
Cool.
you're blue-white.
Yeah, I have Dovin's veto.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what stops iteration? Dovin's veto.
Yeah.
You know what Dovin's veto stops? Almost everything in their deck.
True.
I mean, except for their threats, but that's what we have. That's what we have Supreme Verdict for.
Now, hear me out.
Yep.
80 card blue white control with Urza's Saga to get Brainstone.
No.
Why not?
Why?
You get Terminus, and you get to play Urza's Saga.
It's definitely been tried, and it seemed like it, and like everything I remember, it was bad.
Oh yeah, no, they tried Brainstone day one.
I mean, I know that like initially when Urza Saga came out, Blue White was on like running 2 maps in the main deck.
Oh yeah, it was a very janky list.
Yeah, but like it was right after MH2, so it was like nobody had the format figured out, and it was the best deck and or the best control deck, and then 4-color showed up, and now we're in this. And now we're in this hellscape.
Yep, we really are.
So, all right.
Yeah.
Well, I think we're Eric is. You know, for certain, Eric is first place. I think.
Yep. That'll do it.
Will probably be second, but maybe not.
Maybe on breakers you might trickle down, but
trickle down to third, maybe even fourth. But I don't think fourth is possible. I think it's third.
It'll depend on who is contesting him in that space.
Yeah, if there's another player that only lost to Eric, they would I think be the only other person that could reasonably contest Will. So, all right, well, I think that's gonna do it for us here tonight. Chupacabra Games.
Yep. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah. We'll see y'all. Are we doing?
It'll be next week.
Next week.
Yep.
Okay, cool.
I'm gonna try to stream some more at home. We'll get more of that content going on Moto, maybe some Pioneer, as we'll be playing more Pioneer on Tuesdays. But we can't count on that happening live on Tuesdays. But every so often, we might sneak a stream in there. But
I think people could follow you on Twitter at Sakura_tribe, right?
that is the one.
Alrighty, and you'll tweet whenever you go live with any content, I think, right? Probably, or try to remember to.
I'll always talk about tournament reports or anything like that. Keep everyone updated on Magic stuff.
Yeah, all that jazz. So.
Don't forget to follow at Jam Stoneforge on Twitter as well.
I don't tweet that much, and it's mostly just like shitty things about death and taxes. But yep.
Well, if that's what you're into, give this man a follow.
So have a good day. Have a good night, guys.